Douluo Dalu. Life or Death Pact. It begins with a forced kiss to Qian Renxue. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyright or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 176 Soul Hunting Operation, Infiltration Plan Advance, Chu Ye's mission. It seems that there is only a gap of one level, but it is not so easy to surpass Qian Renxue. After a while, Bai Dom summoned Chu Ye to the hall to discuss. In the hall, Bai Dom sat on the Pope's throne, and below stood Chu Ye, two Douluo, and 3 golden bishops. "Teacher, you are looking for me." Chu Ye walked in. At this moment, everyone's face was very serious, and Chu Ye guessed that things should not be simple. "Chu Ye, after the Soul Master competition is over, our Wuhan Hall will launch the 2 major strategies of the infiltration plan and the soul hunting operation." Bai Dom didn't talk nonsense and went straight to the point. "Oh?" Chu Ye's face condensed slightly. "Sure enough, it's ahead of schedule. The 2 major plans of the Wuhan Hall were originally supposed to be launched in 3 to 5 years after the end of the Soul Master competition, but now they are ahead of schedule." Chu Ye actually had a premonition of this, and since Qian Renxue didn't hide in the Tiando Palace, the Wuhan Hall didn't need to wait so long. It seems that this continent will soon be swept by bloody storms. The turbulent era is coming. Chu Ye's heart was inexplicably serious. Once these 2 strategies are launched, the next step is to destroy the 7 treasures glazed sect and the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family. Together with the Ocean sect, which has long retired, the 7 major sects will be directly reduced to 3 sects. At the same time, other powerful Soul Master sects, families, and forces on the continent will be made to submit to the Spirit Hall, control the Soul Master world, and control most of the Soul Master power on the continent. If you want to rule the continent and establish an absolute dynasty empire, this is a necessary link to exclude dissidents, win over forces, and strengthen your strength. Because once a war is provoked, those powerful sects, families, and Soul Master forces will find it difficult to stay out of it. They will either move like the Ocean sect and find a remote place to hide, or stand. Defend yourself to the Spirit Hall or the Empire. Then re-elect the 7 major sects, completely control the Soul Master world, and finally control some kingdoms and principalities under the 2 empires, so as to rapidly expand military strength and territorial area. Through the territorial foundation of these kingdoms and principalities, the Spirit Empire will be established, spanning between the 2 empires, and completely cutting off the connection between the 2 empires. Thus, a 3-legged tripod was formed, and the war began. Times are changing, and no dynasty or empire can last forever. There will be a day when the dynasty changes. In the future, the Spirit Hall will weaken and be swallowed up by the 2 empires. Without the Spirit Hall to mediate, the 2 empires of Xingluo and Tiando will fight for the future of ruling the continent. Chu Ye naturally hopes to see that the Spirit Hall can unify the continent. In his opinion, the future of the Spirit Hall unifying the continent will be better. Chu Ye's eyes fell on Bai Dom again and asked, "So, teacher, what do you need me to do?" "Chu Ye, as the son of the Spirit Hall, you must contribute to these 2 strategies, which will be more conducive to your succession to my position in the future." Bai Dom paused. He continued, "So, the task of persuading, winning over, and submitting to the Spirit Hall to the 4 lower sects, including other powerful sects, families, and Soul Master forces, is entirely your responsibility. Those who obey me will prosper, and those who oppose me will perish. Chu Ye, when necessary, I think you should know what to do." Chu Ye nodded. "I understand, teacher. If these powerful sects, families, and Soul Master forces cannot be pulled out, they will most likely become enemies and opposing forces." He knows what to do. And now the 4 lower sects, the Elephant Armor sect, the Holy Dragon sect, the Windsword sect, the Fire Leopard sect, the 4 sects, the Elephant Armor sect and the Rising Dragon sect, have actually already submitted to the Spirit Hall. The other 2 sects, the Windsword sect and the Fire Leopard sect, have not yet surrendered, but it is basically easy to win them over. As for other powerful sects, families, and Soul Master forces, in fact, most of them will take the initiative to follow the Spirit Hall. However, there are also some Soul Master families that will never join, such as the 4 single attribute families, Break, Defensor, Strength, and Agility. In short, this task is not difficult for Chu Ye. Anyone can do it. It's just a matter of doing it well or better. It was completely Bai Dom's way of increasing Chu Ye's contribution and giving him performance. As for the destruction of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect and the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex family, Bye-Bye Dom didn't seem to want Chu Ye to participate. Okay, after the Soul Master competition is over, you can take action. Well, nothing else, I'll withdraw first. After the conversation, Chu Ye slowly left the hall. For the next period of time, Chu Ye basically stayed with Qian Renxue to practice dual cultivation. On the other side, the Soul Master competition, the preliminaries continued. The Tiando Division's competition has been played halfway. The teams that have stood out so far are undoubtedly Shenfen, Xiangjie, Tianxue, and Lei Ting, including Zhu King, Ma Hongjin, and the original Tiando Team 1 main Fulshimo, the Tiando Team 2 who joined, and the Botanical Academy. These 7 teams are most likely to compete for 5 promotion places and enter the next stage. As the hidden trump card of Tianxue College has not played yet. But even if it does not play, Tianxue College can basically advance to the preliminaries. As the competition continues day by day, the preliminaries soon come to an end. It is the last day, the last round of the competition. The places for the next stage have been determined today. They are the 5 elemental colleges, Shenfen, Xiangjie, Lei Ting, Jiao, and Tianxue. Tiando Team 2 and Botanical College also failed to enter the top 5. Ma Hongjin and Zhu King, where Tiando Team 2 is, were eliminated and bid farewell to the Soul Master competition. As for, she played the entire preliminaries and never played once. It can be seen that Tianxue wants to hide the trump card until the finals. With the end of today's games, the preliminaries officially ended. At this moment, the host announced the advancing teams. Soul Master competition, Tiando Division, the preliminaries officially ended today. The first place in the preliminaries, Shenfen Academy and Liting Academy, both won 27 games and lost 1, and advanced. Second place, Blazing Academy, 26 wins and 2 losses, advanced. Third place, Tianxue Academy, 25 wins and 3 losses, advanced. Fourth place, Xiangjie Academy, 24 wins and 4 losses, advanced. Let's congratulate them. In this way, the 5 major elemental academies in the Tiando Division successfully entered the next stage. At this moment, Tiando Team 1, Tang San, Daimu Bai, Yu Tinhen, Yan and others were also on the scene, watching the end of the preliminaries. Although Tiando Team 1 can be directly guaranteed to enter the finals, they also need to assess their opponents in advance, especially the 5 major elemental academies, which are basically very strong in every session. Chapter 177. The preliminaries are over. Was looked down upon, seeing that Zhu King and Ma Hongjin from Team 2 did not advance. Oscar sighed and said, "Oh, what a pity, Fatty, Zhu King, and the rest of Team 2 are finished here." Yu Tinhen folded his arms across his chest, glanced at Daimu Bai beside him, and said bluntly, "There's one thing that actually puzzles me. Don't your Xingluo royal family, the Dai family, and Zhu King's Zhu family have very powerful martial soul fusion skills? It seems like you have been engaged and married since childhood, right? But your relationship doesn't seem to be very good." Yan, continuing Yu Tinhen's words, said, "Well, if Zhu King listened to the team leader and was willing to perform martial soul fusion skills with you, she would not have gone to Team 2, and the game would have ended so soon." "Yeah. Boss Dai, what exactly happened between you and Zhu King? Why is Zhu King so distant from you now?" Oscar asked in confusion. In fact, Qin Ming, the current leader of Tiando Royal Academy, intended to keep Zhu King in the first team. After all, he knew that the Nether White Tiger Wihun fusion technique was still very powerful and was a trump card. But Zhu King refused to perform it with Daimu Bai. Since she couldn't use it, she could only join the second team with her strength. Although there was a gap between Zhu King and Daimu Bai before, it was not as bad as it is now. In this regard, Daimu Bai naturally couldn't tell the reason. He couldn't tell the truth that he was caught in bed by Zhu King, right? "Don't ask too much about our affairs," Daimu Bai said with a guilty conscience. He couldn't tell about his dirty behavior. "Well, now that the preliminaries are over, our main opponents are basically the 5 elemental academies, in addition to the Wihun Hall and Xingluo Royal Academy," Yu Tinhen said. Tang San said, "Don't we need to pay attention to the other divisions and the Xingluo division?" Hilly. Yu Tinhen smiled confidently and explained, "In every Soul Master competition, the 5 major elemental academies are basically at the level of a stable top 10. The other divisions can't be compared with the Tiando division. In Xingluo, except for the Xingluo Royal Academy, there is indeed a strong academy, but at most it is at the level of the 5 major elemental academies." "I see. Tang San nodded, his eyes fell on Feng Xiaoshan of the Shenfeng Academy. This Shenfeng Academy, at present, can be said to be the strongest team among the 5 major elemental academies, especially Feng Xiaoshan, whose personal strength is outstanding. Indeed, but in addition to Feng Xiaoshan and Shenfeng Academy, there is another player from Qian Renxue Academy who has not appeared in the entire qualifying stage. It is not ruled out that the girl is Qian Renxue's hidden trump card. Yu Tianhen responded. Daimao Bai glanced at the beautiful silver hair in the sky and smiled disdainfully. Trump card? Look at that girl, she looks delicate and tender, like a vase. I guess she has no strength and can only sit on the bench. Ha ha. Boss Dai is right. That girl is not very old and doesn't look like a powerful character. Oscar laughed. Even if it is a trump card, we are not afraid at all. Tang San was full of confidence. They didn't realize how terrible the strength of whom they despised was. In this way, the preliminaries ended. Tiando and Xingluo, 15 teams each, a total of 30 teams advanced to the next stage, the promotion stage. After the competition organizers gave 7 days of rest, it began. On the other hand, through the data reports from the various branch halls, at this moment, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue already knew the promoted teams in the major competition areas and divisions, as well as the basic information of each team member. Many of these promoted college teams were within Chu Ye's expectations. What was a little surprising was that Shriek College was integrated into Tiando Royal College. Having the protection of the Tiando Empire, it's a good choice. Chu Ye smiled lightly, not taking it too seriously. There is no doubt that the Tiando Team 1 joined by Shriek Academy is definitely a very strong team. But it is still not good enough in front of the Witten Hall team. He took a rough look and threw the information of each academy aside. Because it did not appear, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue did not know that N was in Qian Renxue Academy for the time being. In a month at most, the promotion game will be over, and all the promoted teams will come to Wuhan City to start the finals. Zhuye, do you want to go on stage and play? Chu Ye said. We have been preparing for so long, it would be a pity if we don't go on stage to play a game. Let's show up at least. Qian Renxue smiled. Ha, okay, show up. Chu Ye smiled lightly. Soon, less than a month. The promotion game has also ended. There was no elimination in this stage. In the end, 2 empires, 2 major competition areas, a total of 30 teams advanced to the finals. In addition, Xingluo, Tiando Team 1, and the Spirit Hall team, a total of 33 teams will compete in the finals. The Tiando Empire will be led by the second Prince Zuluo Qian, who will lead the qualified teams of the Tiando Division to the Spirit Hall to participate in the competition. The military force they carry is no longer just 500 knights of the Royal Knights, but more soldiers and spirit masters. They are currently being reorganized and will set off for Spirit City in about 2 or 3 days. At this moment, Yu Xiaogang stood in front of Tang San and said seriously, Xiao San, the teacher has something to do and has to go to Spirit City first. I will meet you after you arrive. Teacher, it's too dangerous for you to go to Spirit City alone. After all, our relationship with the Spirit Hall is now. Tang San frowned. Yu Xiaogang looked confident and said with a smile, Don't worry, Xiao San, the people from the Spirit Hall will not attack me. Teacher, you can enter and leave the Spirit City safely. Yu Xiaogang is the elder of the Spirit Hall. In fact, few people know it now. For some reason, he is not too embarrassed to use this identity. That's it. See you in the Spirit City then. After saying that, Yu Xiaogang rode a fast horse and went to the Spirit Hall alone. Wait until I get the training method of the twin spirits from Bai Dong. Xiao San, your teacher will definitely give you a surprise. Ha ha ha. Yu Xiaogang smiled happily in his heart. Since Tang Yi now appeared and began to secretly guide Tang San to practice, Yu Xiaogang could clearly feel that he had gradually fallen out of favor in Tang San's heart. How could this be possible? Tang San, who is so talented and a genius with twin spirits, must be tied to him, Yu Xiaogang, so that when Tang San grows up in the future, everyone will think that it is all his credit and training. His name as a master, martial spirit theory will be respected and recognized. And if he asks Bai Dong for the cultivation method of twin martial spirits and gives it to Tang San, it will be stable. Chapter 178 Yu Xiaogang comes to Spirit Hall, Chu Ye. He still has the nerve to come. Others would think that Yu Xiaogang was very awesome, and even knew how to cultivate his twin martial spirits. How many people would know that he learned the cultivation method of his twin martial spirits from Bai Dong? Ha ha, bye bye Dong, I haven't asked you for anything for a long time. This time, I don't think you will refuse me, right? Yu Xiaogan muttered in his heart. Soon, after Yu Xiaogan arrived at Wuhan City, the teams of the two empires had already set off for Wuhan City. A few days later, Yu Xiaogan stood at the entrance steps of the Pope's palace with his hands on his back, looking proud, and then stepped onto the steps. The soldiers immediately stopped him. Stop. Who are you? Yu Xiaogan showed a bit of arrogance on his face. He slowly took out the token representing the identity of the elder and held it up to show the soldiers. Huh. What is this? He is actually an elder. Why have I never seen him before? There is such an elder in the spirit hall. Yu Xiaogan said. Why don't you get out of the way? Please come in. Although the soldiers were confused, they had the elder's token in hand, so they could only step aside and let Yu Xiaogan go in. Here. Yu Xiaogan took back the token, with a little pride on his face, and entered the Pope's hall. Then, he went directly to the hall where Bai Bai Dong was to find Bai Bai Dong. But unfortunately, Chu Ye had just come out from Bai Bai Dong and was walking all the way in the direction of Yu Xiaogan. Soon, the two met at a corner. Yu Xiaogan saw Chu Ye first from his angle, which made Yu Xiaogan panic. Oh no, why did I meet this abominable boy? In the entire Pope's palace, Yu Xiaogan was most afraid of not the elders who worshipped him, nor those elders who were powerful enough to be titled Luo. Yu Xiaogan was most afraid of Chu Ye. He quickly lowered his head a little, and deliberately turned his body behind Chu Ye toward Kuei. But Chu Ye still found Yu Xiaogan. He was slightly stunned and frowned, saying, "What is this disgusting thing doing here?" Chu Ye quickly thought about the reason why Yu Xiaogan appeared here, and finally stopped at one point. Twin martial spirits. Could this guy come here to ask Bai Bai Dong for the method of practicing twin martial spirits? Chu Ye's face darkened instantly, and an inexplicable anger surged in his heart. Where's the face? Where's the face? When Chu Ye absorbed Xiao's spirit ring, Bai Bai Dong also wanted to kill Tang Ao and Tang San, knowing that Tang Ao's father and son were enemies of the spirit hall, and knowing that Tang San also regarded the spirit hall as an irreconcilable enemy. This guy actually had the nerve to come to Bai Bai Dong to ask for the practice method of twin spirits? How shameless and cheap is Yu Xiaogan? Stop. Chu Ye's voice sounded coldly from behind Yu Xiaogan. Yu Xiaogan's body trembled, and he was already a little scared in his heart, but he still pretended to be calm on the surface. It's you, kid. You trash, what are you doing here? Chu Ye's face was cold and he slowly walked towards Yu Xiaogan. Yu Xiaogan was afraid in his heart, and his steps subconsciously retreated, but his face was still hard. Boy, keep your mouth clean, even if you are the holy son of the spirit hall, don't go to hell. Slap. Wow now. Chu Ye slapped Yu Xiaogan in the face. Yu Xiaogan screamed and fell to the ground. Answer the question properly. You. Yu Xiaogan covered his face and glared at Chu Ye, but he could only dare to be angry and not speak. He never expected that Chu Ye would slap him in the face just because of a disagreement. Chu Ye. Even your teacher, Bai Bai Dong, would not treat me like this. How dare you mention my teacher? Chu Ye took a step forward and slapped Yu Xiaogan hard again, and this slap made his mouth crooked. Smack. Ah! Yu Xiaogan screamed again. Chu Ye stepped on Yu Xiaogan's face, stepped on his head, and said coldly, "Let me guess, you came here to find my teacher and ask for the cultivation method of twin martial spirits, right? How do you know, you disgusting trash, you still have the nerve to ask?" After confirming this, Chu Ye was completely angry. This disgusting, hypocritical trash. He has always only asked Bai Bai Dong for things, and obtained all kinds of benefits, knowledge, identity, and status from Bai Bai Dong. If there is no Bai Bai Dong, if there is no spirit hall, how could Yu Xiaogan plagiarize a lot of knowledge from the spirit hall, and use the stolen knowledge to come up with a theory that is not good or not? How could he be an elder of the spirit hall? Many people call him a master. It can be said that Yu Xiaogan's current status is given by the spirit hall, otherwise he would be like a rat crossing the street, and his life would be even worse. And what has Yu Xiaogan paid except asking Bai Bai Dong for things and getting benefits? It's fine if he doesn't know how to repay a favor, but now he has the nerve to come here and ask Bai Bai Dong for the cultivation method of the twin spirits and teach it to the enemies of the spirit hall. What a shameless and thick-skinned person can do this? Today, Chu Ye will feel uncomfortable if he doesn't beat this garbage up. Fuck. Chu Ye stomped on Yu Xiaogan's foot. This kid crushed Yu Xiaogan's leg bones, and the broken bones even pierced through the flesh. A large amount of blood flowed wildly in his leg. His leg was completely broken and could never be healed. Ah! My leg! Ah! Yu Xiaogan lay on the ground, screaming miserably. In the past, Chu Ye just hated Yu Xiaogan, but now he felt disgusted with Yu Xiaogan from the bottom of his heart. How could he stop just because he had a broken leg? Chu Ye attacked again, pinned Yu Xiaogan to the ground, and beat and kicked him hard. Bang 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 bang! Ah! Yu Xiaogan screamed miserably, and soon, his other leg was also broken by Chu Ye. Soon, Yu Xiaogan was beaten to a bloody mess, and his 2 legs were completely broken. He could only sit in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. His other hand was also broken by Chu Ye, leaving only one hand. Stop. Stop. I'm an elder of the Spirit Hall. Here is the elder's order. Even if you are the Holy Son, you cannot do this to me. Yu Xiaogan trembled and took out the elder's order, shouting miserably. You still know that you are an elder of the Spirit Hall. But, from now on, you are not. Chu Ye snatched the token from Yu Xiaogan's hand. Yu Xiaogan was extremely frightened. Now only Bai Bai Dong could save him. He shouted for help. Bai Bai Dong. Bai Bai Dong, save me. Don't shout, I will take you to see her. Chu Ye grabbed Yu Xiaogan's hair with one hand, and dragged Yu Xiaogan, who was covered in blood, to the hole where Bai Bai Dong was. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 179 The Miserable Yu Xiaogan. Yu Xiaogan was dragged along the ground by Chu Ye miserably. The blood of Yu Xiaogan was everywhere. Listen to me carefully. When you meet my teacher later, you must answer truthfully no matter what he says. If you tell me a lie, I will make your life worse than death. I will torture you endlessly. Believe me, even my teacher can't protect you. Chu Ye's eyes were full of murderous intent, firm and resolute, threatening Yu Xiaogan. Yu Xiaogan looked at Chu Ye's eyes. At that moment, he seemed to feel more terrible than death. Even death was a relief and luck. He didn't dare to doubt what Chu Ye said at this moment. Soon, Chu Ye dragged the miserable Yu Xiaogan to the door of the main hall and pushed the door open with one hand. Yu Xiaogan finally met Bai Bai Dong as he wished, but he didn't expect that he would meet her in such a miserable way. Joy, who are you doing? Who is he? On the Pope's throne, Bai Bai Dong was stunned when she saw Chu Ye dragging a bloody man. Then she looked carefully and couldn't tell who it was. Because Yu Xiaogan's limbs were already broken, his clothes were stained with blood, and his face was bloody and swollen. Even Tang San couldn't recognize him at the first time. Get out. Chu Ye threw Yu Xiaogan to the ground with one hand like throwing an animal, and threw him in front of Bai Bai Dong. Yu Xiaogan cried desperately and shouted out of control. Bai Bai Dong, it's me. Yu Xiaogan. Xiaogan. What? You. Xiaogan. Bai Bai Dong's eyes widened, and her heart trembled violently. It's me. Bai Bai Dong, your apprentice is really too much. He beat me into this state. Is the friendship between you and me in the past so unbearable? Yu Xiaogan was extremely wronged, angry, and sad, looking very pitiful. He yelled like a child who was bullied outside and went home to complain to adults and seek shelter. Yu Xiaogan looking at the miserable Yu Xiaogan, Bai Bai Dong felt very complicated at the moment, and there was also a trace of softness and reluctance. After all, there was still a place for Yu Xiaogan in her heart. She even wanted to help Yu Xiaogan up. Teacher. But Chu Ye suddenly shouted, stopping Bai Bai Dong in her tracks. The reason why he dragged Yu Xiaogan in was to let Bai Bai Dong see Yu Xiaogan's true face today. Teacher, I know you had a relationship with him, and I know you still have feelings for him, right? But such a person is not worth your concern. Do you know why he came to you today? He asked you for the cultivation method of twin martial spirits, and then taught it to the enemies of the Spirit Hall, our enemies. This kind of rubbish, besides asking for the benefits he wants from you, teacher, what has he done for you? What has he paid for? Did he really like you back then? You can ask him. At this moment, Chu Ye rarely spoke in front of Bai Bai Dong with such an attitude. Chu Ye's words were like thorns, piercing her heart and shocking Bai Bai Dong's soul. She looked back on the past. Indeed, during the time she spent with Yu Xiaogan only said some sweet words to make her feel the sweetness of love. It seems that Yu Xiaogan has never paid anything for her or done anything to help her. It seems that it has always been Yu Xiaogan who has been constantly asking for benefits and gaining benefits through her identity and status. Although Bai Bai Dong is now decisive and ruthless, in fact, she is also a love-brained person. She used to be simple, innocent, kind, and completely immersed in love. How could she question how sincere Yu Xiaogan was to her? Although many years have passed, Bai Bai Dong still feels the same about that relationship. In addition, no one dares to discuss, point out, or analyze and preach about their relationship in front of Bai Bai Dong, so Bai Bai Dong has always been very close to Yu Xiaogan and has never heard of different voices and ideas. Chu Ye's words made Bai Bai Dong care about this issue for the first time. Sometimes people are like this, for example, when a bunch of friends keep analyzing in your ears what a thing or a person is like, what you should do, and what to do, when you hear all kinds of different voices. Your stubborn thoughts will be affected and changed invisibly. You may still be stubborn, but you may also feel that it makes sense to be PUA, or that this is the fact. Yu Xiaogan. Bai Bai Dong did not move forward, but looked at this miserable man with a complicated face. You came here today, is it really to ask me for the method of practicing twin martial spirits? I do have this purpose, but I can assure you that my apprentice will never do anything to threaten the spirit hall. Ha 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 ha. Bai Bai Dong suddenly laughed, feeling very ridiculous in her heart. If she said this, would you believe it? Bai Bai Dong was also very disappointed. After so many years, Yu Xiaogan took the initiative to come to the spirit hall to find her for the first time. It was not for their past affairs, but still asking for benefits from her. Does this man only think of himself when he wants to get benefits from her? This made Bai Bai Dong feel a little chilly. Her eyes were already red, and she questioned Yu Xiaogan very seriously. Did you really love me back then? Yu Xiaogan, remember what I just said to you, tell the truth, otherwise I will make you live, which is worse than death. Chu Ye's voice rang in Yu Xiaogan's mind. Yu Xiaogan was filled with despair and fear. He was not afraid of death now. Compared to death, he was really afraid of the young man next to him. It was a kind of fear that made him rise from the depths of his heart. Rather than being tortured to death by Chu Ye, Yu Xiaogan might as well have a showdown today and angered Bai Bai Dong to death. At this moment, a pent-up emotion in Yu Xiaogan's heart burst out. I did have some interest in you back then, but that was simply because you were beautiful, and because of your background, status, and the power behind you. Only by being with you can I obtain the most extensive soul master knowledge on this continent, and I can achieve something on the path of martial soul theory. And, I can step onto the position of an elder of the spirit hall. Enjoy the highest status and glory. If you can become the Pope, I will be the Pope's husband. No one can laugh at me anymore. Yu Xiaogan is a waste. My family can't look down on me either. Everyone will look up to me, Yu Xiaogan. Chapter 180. Bai Bai Dong is furious and kicks Yu Xiaogan. You. Bai Bai Dong took a step back, her body trembling slightly, and asked in disbelief. So, you are using me when you were with me back then? What do you think? Bai Bai Dong. Yu Xiaogan's face was twisted and ferocious, and then unwillingness and anger emerged. Back then, you suddenly said some cruel words to me and wanted to break up with me. Did you think you could fool me? Do you think I really don't know the reason? You were so naive and simple back then. A woman as gullible as you was completely fooled by me at the time. How could you suddenly be so heartless and suddenly say that you were not interested in me and want to break up with me? It's because of your teacher, Qian Renxue, the Pope of the Spirit Hall. He didn't agree with you being together, right? If I wasn't afraid that Qian Renxue would kill me, do you think I would easily break up with a powerful and beautiful woman like you? At this moment, Yu Xiaogan's ugly face was completely revealed. Yu Xiaogan, you. No wonder when she broke up with Yu Xiaogan didn't try to keep her, and immediately got together with another woman, Liu Wolong, after the breakup. It turned out that this man had never truly loved her, and was more of a use by him. Bai Bai Dong's heart was completely hurt, and she no longer had any feelings for Yu Xiaogan, only boundless anger. Yu Xiaogan. You rubbish. Bai Bai Dong's body instantly gave off an extremely terrifying horror. With boundless anger, she stepped on Yu Xiaogan's third leg with her high-heeled feet. Bang! Ah! Yu Xiaogan's extremely miserable screams resounded throughout the hall, and screams continued. Seeing this scene, Chu Ye couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth, and subconsciously clamped his legs. Yu Xiaogan's limbs had all been broken by Chu Ye, and now Bai Bai Dong had crippled Yu Xiaogan's third leg. Yu Xiaogan would eventually be a vegetable, lying in bed for the rest of his life, and he would not even be a man anymore. Chu Ye, drag this disgusting garbage out, tie him to the wall of our Wuhan city, and whip him for 3 days and 3 nights. Don't let him die, I want him to be a cripple forever, in endless torture and pain, until he dies of old age. Death is sometimes not the cruelest thing. The cruelest thing is to be like Yu Xiaogan, with all his limbs crippled, even his third leg crippled, and to be a cripple who cannot take care of himself for the rest of his life. Lying in bed until he dies of old age is actually very cruel psychological torture, especially for a healthy person who would go crazy if he became like this. Okay, teacher. Chu Ye looked at Bai Bai Dong silently, and at this moment, she seemed to have a sense of relief in her heart. He retracted his gaze, grabbed Yu Xiaogan's head, and dragged him out again. Chu Ye dragged Yu Xiaogan all the way to the outside of the Pope's palace, and then dragged him all the way to the city gate, and then threw him to the soldiers guarding the city gate. Hang him on the city wall, and do as I say. Yes. Your Highness the Holy Sun. Come here. Soon, Yu Xiaogan was hung on the city wall, exposed to the sun, and countless passers-by, coming and going, pointed at Yu Xiaogan and cursed him. At this moment, Yu Xiaogan's dignity was completely trampled. He never thought that his trip to Wuhan City would be so miserable. Before leaving, he was extremely confident that no one would touch him with Tang San, and he could enter and leave the Pope's palace safely. He now regretted it very much. Why did he seek death? Why did he come to the Pope's palace to find Bai Bai Dong? Isn't this sending his head? A few days later, the people who came to Wuhan City to watch the game one after another almost arrived. The finals of the Soul Master competition were held in the Pope's Palace in Wuhan City, so now Wuhan City can be said to be the most lively and popular city in the entire continent. Not only the participating college personnel, but also hundreds of civilians from all over the continent, Soul Master families, Soul Master sects, Soul Master forces, and free Soul Masters will come here. Hey! Look! Someone is hanging on the wall of Wuhan City. Why does that person look familiar? Oh my! Isn't that Yu Xiaogan? The Master Yu who claims to be invincible in theory. Fuck, it's him. How could he be hung here? Soon, Yu Xiaogan's story was almost known to everyone, and all kinds of rumors spread, all of which were slandering Yu Xiaogan. As long as the Soul Master competition is over, these people will go back, and the news will spread throughout the continent in an instant. Yu Xiaogan is now undoubtedly ruined. On this day, the team led by the second Prince Douluo Dalu of the Tiando Empire, and the 15 college teams that qualified from the Tiando Empire, finally arrived at the gate of Wuhan City. They all saw the miserable Yu Xiaogan on the wall. Seeing this, Tang San's eyes suddenly turned red, he gasped like a cow, and screamed, "Old teacher! How could this happen? How could Master Yu be so miserable? Quick! Save him!" Douluo Dalu actually didn't think much of Yu Xiaogan, but considering that he was Tang San's master, he immediately sent people to rescue him. Yu Xiaogan's 3-day deadline was also up, and the soldiers did not stop him, allowing the imperial troops to rescue him. Teacher! How could you become like this? Tang San pushed the imperial soldiers away and came to Yu Xiaogan, furious. At this moment, Yu Xiaogan was a little dying, his wounds were rotting, his body was in great pain, and he was suffering all the time. He was hung on the wall and exposed to the sun for 3 days and 3 nights. If it weren't for the spirit hall not letting him die, he would have died long ago, and he would have been happy to die. He suffered a lot of torture for 3 days. Shao San, my disciple. You must avenge your master. Kill Chu Ye, kill that woman Bai Bai Dong, and destroy the spirit hall. Yu Xiaogan cried weakly. Tang San clenched his fists tightly, his eyes full of resentment and murderous intent. Teacher, don't worry, Tang San, will definitely make the spirit hall pay for its revenge. Disciple. Teacher. The master and disciple hugged each other. Yu Xiaogan was saved, but he was paralyzed for life. No matter how strong the therapist was, he could not heal. Yu Xiaogan's limbs and third leg were disabled. He could only lie in bed for the rest of his life and die in pain. Tang San's eyes were cold, slowly retracted a little, and came to Douluo Dalu. Your Highness, the second prince, can I kill Chu Ye on the stage? Even if you are sure of this, I don't mind you doing this. If he dies, even if I try my best, it is very likely that I can't save you. Douluo Dalu shook his head. Tang San came to participate in the Spirit Master competition. If the Spirit Hall wanted to take action, he still had 7 or 8 layers of confidence to protect Tang San, but, Chapter 181 Finals. The invincible Spirit Hall team. But if the Son of God is killed on the spot, even if he is the Crown Prince of the Heaven Do Empire and represents the Heaven Do Empire, it will be difficult to save Tang San. But Tang San, you can do something hidden to him. Aren't you very good at practicing poison? You can give him a chronic and severe poison on the stage, which is undetectable. After the game is over, we will leave and he will die. It has nothing to do with this. Douluo Qian smiled. Your Highness, wise. Tang San also showed a sinister smile. The two looked at each other and had their own plans. In fact, Tang San had this idea a long time ago and had prepared the poison before coming. Although Tang San didn't know how strong Chu Ye was now, he also knew himself. Back then, he was no match for Chu Ye. Now that Chu Ye has reached the Soul Empire realm, how could he be a match? Therefore, if Tang San wanted to target Chu Ye, he had to work hard on hidden weapons and practicing poison. What about a powerful Soul Master? After all, they are just mortals. Tang Sect's powerful mechanical hidden weapons are enough to kill a title Douluo in one blow. Tang Sect's advanced poisons, which are extremely toxic, may also directly poison a title Douluo. As long as Tang San is given a chance, it is not impossible to do it. Chu Ye, you wait for me. Tang San secretly clenched his fists, his eyes red. The 16 college teams of the Tiando Empire, led by Douluo Qian, entered the Wuhan city and came to the Wuhan Hall collectively, and checked into the hotel that had been arranged long ago. Wuhan City, I'm finally back here. Looked at this familiar city and streets, and recalled the figures of 2 people in her mind. Brother Chu Ye, Sisters Ye, was finally going to see you, and misses you too. Feeling that his mood was a little bit off, she had been asked in confusion. What's wrong? You seem a little uneasy after entering Wuhan City. I'm fine. Smiled sweetly. Okay. Seeing this, Shuabinja didn't ask any more questions. Soon, all the participating college teams from the Tiando Empire and the Xingluo Empire have arrived at Wuhan City, and the finals will officially begin in 2 days. In the past 2 days, all teams have been practicing frantically. In the Wuhan Hall team, Yu has also become extremely diligent, struggling alone in the practice field. Chu Ye slowly walked over, leaned aside and watched Yu practice. You're a little bit abnormal recently. You are working so hard. Isn't the Soul Master competition coming soon? Yu stopped, wiped the sweat from the corner of her face, and came to Chu Ye's side. In fact, Yu practiced frantically these days because she knew that it was coming. Yes. Chu Ye smiled, took out a bottle of mineral water and handed it to her. Thank you. Yu took the water, opened it and drank a sip, and then sat together to chat. Both of them have the power of the Dragon God and the blood of the Dragon Clan, so there is not only no sense of rejection between them, but also a very strong sense of intimacy. Therefore, during this period of time, the two of them got along and soon became friends, or even very good partners. In fact, whether it is not Yu, they both have very good personalities, which makes people feel very comfortable. Okay, you should have a good rest and relax. 2 days of training will not change anything. I'm leaving first. Chu Ye patted Yu's shoulder and got up to leave. 2 days later, the high-level Elite Soul Master competition finally began. Tiando and Xingluo, a total of 32 teams, have arrived one after another at the competition site in the Pope's Palace. The host is the familiar face Su Yuntao. Chu Ye used to wonder what Su Yuntao's identity and status are. Isn't he just a small deacon in the Noting City branch? He is actually qualified to host the Soul Master competition in the Pope's Palace. After learning about it, it turns out that Su Yuntao has a relative in the Pope's Palace, who happens to be the middle-level leader of the department in charge of the Soul Master competition activities. At this moment, Su Yuntao is looking at the entrance and procedures of the major colleges. Soon, all the colleges have appeared on the stage, and the last team left is the home team of the Wuhan Hall. Next, please welcome. Our Spirit Hall team enters the venue. Su Yuntao shouted passionately. The whole audience cheered, and everyone's eyes were focused on the entrance. Spirit Hall. Spirit Hall. Spirit Hall. Spirit Hall. Your Highness the Holy Sun. Young Master. Is it finally here? The Spirit Hall team. At this moment, all the people from other academies looked there with a solemn face. Da. The footsteps of the Spirit Hall team sounded first, dong dong dong, and everyone's heartbeat seemed to follow and they became nervous. The figures of Chu Ye and Qian Renxue first appeared in everyone's field of vision. Behind them, followed by Qian, Leona, Shiyu, Yan, and the rest of the team members, a row of 12 people all appeared. They were wearing the same Spirit Hall uniforms, but they just walked in very calmly, but they brought a very strong sense of oppression to everyone. And a very powerful feeling. They stood together like an invincible team, making all the college teams pale in comparison at that moment. Many people were so shocked by the collective aura of the Spirit Hall team that they lowered their heads silently, not daring to look directly at them. Hey! Sisters! The Holy Son of the Spirit Hall is so handsome. Damn, the young Master of the Spirit Hall is also absolutely beautiful. I heard that the Holy Son and the young Master of the Spirit Hall seem to be a couple. And their talents are incomparable. It is said that their soul power has reached the Soul Emperor realm. What? Soul Emperor? How can we beat such a terrifying person? Chu Ye. Tang-san stared at Chu Ye's face, and also looked at Qian Renxue next to him with a sinister look. Wang smiled bigly. That day, after parting with the 7 Treasures Glazed sect, I feel that the gap between us and Chu Ye has become even greater. Was full of joy, and her heart was also very excited. She waved to Chu Ye on the spot. Finally, I met him. Chu Ye just nodded to you faintly. Qian Renxue looked at you with a stern face. Wang awkwardly pushed his sister and said helplessly, restrain yourself. You have no chance with him. Didn't you see the look in the eyes of the man next to him? If you like him, then you like him. If you don't fight for it, how do you know there is no chance? Is also a straightforward person, so she doesn't care about Qian Renxue's look. Feng Xiaoshan looked serious and clenched his fists. Chu Ye, I will definitely defeat you. Feng Xiaoshan has been practicing hard until now, just for this day, to come to the Wooden Hall and fight Chu Ye. And was also very excited. Brother Chu Ye, sisters Ye. Chapter 182. Meeting again, Feng Xiaoshan's amazing change. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue looked around at the people in the academy in front of them, and finally found Nerinti and Chu Ye. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue rushed to Nr the first time. They guessed that N would appear sooner or later, but they didn't expect that she would appear in the Soul Master competition and join Qian Shui Academy. Brother Chu Ye, sisters Ye. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue was now 14 years old. She has undoubtedly grown from a cute little girl to a graceful and beautiful girl. With silver white hair, a slender and perfect figure, and a peerless face, she is the #1 goddess in Qian Shui Academy and is also known as the Dragon Spear Goddess. She is the only beauty whose appearance and temperament give people the feeling that she is not inferior to Qian Renxue at all. Qian Renxue would have a lot of opinions about such a beauty, let alone hugging Chu Ye, even if there is physical contact, but only Qian Renxue didn't mind. Because in Qian Renxue's eyes, was like her and Chu Ye's sister. Why did you leave suddenly back then? Couldn't you meet us once before leaving? I'm sorry, brother Chu Ye, sisters Ye. Okay, we know you have your reasons. Are you happy in Qian Shui College? Chu Ye said gently. Yeah, I'm happy. The sisters in Qian Shui are very nice to me. Nodded repeatedly, and then said seriously. Brother Chu Ye, sisters Ye, is now a member of Qian Shui College, so we'll go all out in the next game. After the Soul Master competition is over, we'll return to you. Okay, we'll wait for you to come back. The three smiled at each other. After reminiscing about the past and talking, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue returned to the team. Yu looked at and also looked at Yu, and the two of them exchanged glances secretly. I didn't expect you to know the Holy Son and young Master of the Spirit Hall. Xu Binger and the others were very surprised. She seemed to understand why N had been a little uneasy these days. And then told the team members about her past experience in the Spirit Hall. I see. No wonder N was so powerful. It turns out that N was a genius who walked out of the Spirit Hall. The girls at Qian Shui were shocked. Uncle Jian, seeing Chu Ye again, what changes do you feel about him? Nine Fengzi said to Jian Luo beside him. This time, they also followed the Tiando Empire team to watch the game. He is more mature and stable in mind, and has a strong personal aura. Just standing there, he exudes that kingly style that this generation of young people does not have. He will become a great man. Jian Luo looked at Chu Ye silently. He really liked this young man and was even willing to pass on all his life's learning to Chu Ye, but his heart was not destined to be with Chu Ye after all. This made Jian Luo feel very sorry. Unfortunately, he even often fantasized that it would be great if Chu Ye was his disciple. Alas! Qian Renxue sighed heavily in his heart, and was also very curious about how far Chu Ye's understanding of the sword has reached. Chu Ye also noticed Qian Renxue's gaze and nodded to him respectfully. Now, all colleges have entered the venue, and the finals of the Advanced Elite Soul Master competition is officially begun. Su Yuntao presided over it, and then continued. In the first round, the Wuhan Hall team and the two recommended teams of Tiando and Xingluo will be directly given a bye. The remaining 30 teams will be randomly drawn for a duel. Please ask the representatives of each college to come on stage to draw lots. Soon, the draw was over, and the battle list of the 30 teams was arranged. The first game, Shenfen College vs. Longkui College. The second game, Thunder College vs. Barak College. The sixth game, Blazing Fire College vs. Shadow College. The 10th game, Qian Renxue College vs. Xiangjie College. It was very unfortunate that in the first round of the finals, two teams from the 5 elemental academies met each other. Now, please invite the first team of both academies to the stage. Feng Xiaoshan led his team to the stage with a confident look. Although the Divine Wind Academy did not merge with the Blazing Fire Academy, the current strength of the Divine Wind Academy should not be underestimated. Because Feng Xiaoshan's strength has reached the Soul King realm. Soul Power level 51. Feng Xiaoshan was not a hard-working person in cultivation, and his pursuit of the Soul Master path was not high. Even after the Soul Master competition, he became a career Soul Master and a teacher in the academy, concentrating on developing the academy. This kind of career Soul Master, that is, a Soul Master who focuses on career, no longer strives to pursue a higher realm, no longer goes through various training, cultivation, adventure, and looking for opportunities. The career is the main thing, and cultivation is supplemented. But now it is different. After being stimulated by Chu Ye, Feng Xiaoshan worked hard. Originally, he should have been level 44 inches the Soul Master competition, but now he has reached level 51. His team members have also become diligent because of Feng Xiaoshan's diligence. The Divine Wind Academy, which was supposed to have 3 Soul Masters and 4 Soul Honored, now has 1 Soul King, 4 Soul Masters, and 2 Soul Honored. Their opponent, Longkui, also has 4 Soul Masters and 3 Soul Honored, but there is still a gap in strength. Please prepare for both sides. The game will start soon. Open the martial soul. Both sides released their martial souls at the same time, and the 5 rings under Feng Xiaoshan's feet also caused a small wave of discussion. Chu Ye said with interest, "Yo, Feng Xiaoshan, a 24-year-old Soul King, finally seems to have some innate full soul power talent." The game begins. Go. Third soul skill, Wind Wings. At the beginning, Feng Xiaoshan showed amazing strength and combat ability. In just a few rounds, he killed Longkui's 2 back row assistants in seconds. Damn it. Without the assistant, Longkui's overall strength will be greatly reduced. Fourth soul skill, Double Wolf Wind Shadow. Rest. Bang bang bang. Ah. The two sides fought for less than 5 minutes. Under the leadership of Feng Xiaoshan's terrifying strength, all Longkui students fell to the ground. Damn, Feng Xiaoshan from the Kamikaze Academy is quite strong. So strong. The team on Xingluo's side was very surprised. Captain Yu Tiangxin of Thunder said with a serious face, "Xinpu Academy is in our Tiando division." In the preliminaries, the first place advanced, with 27 wins in 28 games. The only loss was because he liked Douluo from Blazing Fire Academy, so he lost on purpose. Here. Feng Xiaoshan retracted his strength, glanced at Chu Ye in the Spirit Hall team, and shouted, "Chu Ye, I'm looking forward to fighting you again." Originally, I didn't plan to post this book in the book club, but some book friends asked, so I'll do it. Brothers who were interested can join group 194503670. Another thing, I have been writing books for 2 or 3 years, and I have 2 million word Douluo fanfictions, so I have experienced a lot, especially being criticized and scolded in various ways. If you look closely, you will find that the more fiercely criticized a book is, the better the performance is. No matter how awesome it is, there will be a group of people who criticize it and a group of people who think it is rubbish. I have been used to being criticized after writing for so many years. When I see people scolding me, I actually have only one mentality, which is very calm and indifferent. So, after posting in the book club group, reject those who prepare hundreds or thousands of words to send private messages to me in the group as soon as they join, and then leave the group immediately after they finish scolding me. They leave the group immediately and run away immediately. Damn it. I really don't care about being scolded, but these idiots don't even give me a chance to talk back. Although I don't quite understand the mentality of these people who run away immediately after scolding, it is really unnecessary, because it is really an ineffective attack. If you want to scold, just post in the book club circle. I usually read it. That's all. Friends who were interested, welcome to join the group. Chapter 183 Qian Renxue College. Strength shocked the audience. Fuck, this Feng Xiaoshan is really brave. He actually challenged the Holy Son of the Spirit Hall on the spot. Feng Xiaoshan is so brave, is he going to die? The people around him all admired Feng Xiaoshan's courage. Chu Ye smiled faintly. Okay. But first, you have to be qualified to stand in front of me. I will. Feng Xiaoshan looked confident, and then retracted his gaze. The second game. Thunder Academy vs. Barak Academy. Barak Academy is the Royal Academy of Barak, a kingdom affiliated to Tiando. It can be considered as one's own people, fighting one's own people. The two academies fought, and soon, Thunder Academy won the victory. Then Blazing Academy fought against Shadow Academy on the Xingluo side. Yu and Yueshang were also a little stronger than expected. Yueshang was level 44 and Yu was level 45. The two sides fought, and as expected, Blazing Academy won this round. As expected, the 5 elemental academies had won their first victory. The game continued, and soon it came to the 10th game, Qian Renxue Academy vs. Xiangjie Academy. It's a pity that Qian Renxue College will stop here this year. Yes. Qian Renxue College is also very strong overall. In my opinion, it is at least in the top 10. It's a pity that they met Xiangjie College. Xiangjie focuses on defensa. Although Qian Renxue is good, they lack powerful attacking spirit masters and are not strong enough to break Xiangjie's defensa. That's right. To be honest, I feel that Xiangjie is not as good as Qian Renxue, but Xiangjie has a great advantage against Qian Renxue. Qian Renxue's team combat ability and coordination ability can be said to be the strongest among the 5 elemental colleges, and Shuibinja has extremely strong control ability. But Qian Renxue's only flaw is that it lacks strength, power, and attack power. There is no strong attacking spirit master who can show off. Shenfeng has Feng Xiaoshan, Lei Tim has Yu Tianxing, and Qiu has Yueshang. These 3 are all very outstanding strong attacking spirit masters. And a strong attacking spirit master is the key to team attack. Qian Renxue doesn't have one, which means that the upper limit of Qian Renxue College is destined not to be too high. They can beat many teams, but it is difficult to compete with the top teams. If there is a powerful attacking spirit master like Feng Xiaoshan in Qian Renxue, then the whole team will definitely be a level stronger. Therefore, many people are not optimistic about Qian Renxue College, and they also think that Qian Renxue will most likely lose to Xiangjie. But in fact, no one knows that this year's Qian Renxue College has 2 hidden cards. First, Shuibinja and Zhuo's 2-body 1-spirit fusion technique. Second, it is the absolutely terrifying attacking spirit master. Their goal is the championship. So during the preliminaries, Qian Renxue College did not expose these 2 trump cards at all. Everyone underestimated Qian Renxue College, they are the strongest among the 5 elemental colleges. The 10th game. Qian Renxue College vs. Xiangjie College, please ask the players from both sides to play. It's time to let them see the real strength of our Qian Renxue College, let's go. Shuibinja stood up at the same time. The other 5 followed closely and stepped onto the stage. Hey. Look. The girl from Qian Renxue who has been sitting on the bench is actually on the court. The finals are an elimination system. Once you lose, you're gone. Let her play at this time. Everyone seemed to have thought of something. The trump card. This girl named might be the trump card of Qian Renxue College. This, Shriek College, Daimubai and others suddenly felt a little slapped in the face. Before, they swore that N was of ours. N instantly became the focus, and a group of people began to speculate about N's strength. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue also looked forward to it, because they knew very well how outstanding N's talent was, a god-level weapon spirit, a silver dragon spear, and an innate soul power of level 20. Now that so many years have passed, they don't know how powerful N has become, but she must not be underestimated. Hehe, I didn't expect that Qian Renxue College still have a hidden trump card, but even so, you are not the opponent of our Xiangjie College. Defensa, can you break our defensa? Haha. Yanlei said with confidence. You call it defensa? In my opinion, it's as fragile as tofu. And smiled slightly. Humph. What a confident girl. I want to see how you can break out a fencer. Open the martial spirit. 7 huge diamond mammoth martial spirits appeared behind the 7 elephant armors. This martial spirit, known as the first defensive martial spirit on the continent, the defensor is indeed something. Open the martial spirit. With Xue Binge's order, the 7 people from Qian Renxue also released their martial spirits. The silver dragon spirit's hand exuded a terrifying aura that was not inferior to Chu Ye's sword of gods and demons. Anyone with a cold weapon martial spirit felt very afraid at that moment. And the purple, blab, 5 rings under his feet amazed the audience. A soul king under the age of less than 15. Soul power level 52. Here is an explanation. In the setting of this book, Qian deliberately hides himself and does not want to stand out too much. Therefore, in the human form, Qian does not look as cool as fuck. Feng Xiaoshan is a soul king at the age of 24, and this girl is less than 15 years old. Oh my god, her talent is not inferior to the Holy Son and young master of the Spirit Hall. Seeing this, the elephant armor side was a little panicked. Quick. Set up the formation. First soul skill, Iron Wall. All 7 members of the elephant armor condensed the same diamond mammoth shield, and then held the shield and stood in a row. Hooray! Hooray! The 7 people held the shield and started to jump left and right collectively, moving forward. This is the classic tactic of the elephant armor. Through neatly arranged defenses, moving forward, and then constantly compressing the battle space, leaving the opponent with insufficient space to play. But as long as there is enough power to break their defensive formation, then the elephant armor will become a weak chicken. Here, sisters, let's look at his mouth corners raised, with a spear in hand, the whole person's aura changed in an instant, and the purple soul ring under her feet rose. Silver light exploded, and a silver dragon swung from the spear. Second soul skill, Silver Dragon Soul. Roar. The dragon roared, and the 7 elephant armor showed terrified expressions on their faces. Defend. Quick. Defend. Bang. Boom. Ah! Broke all the shields of the 7 people on the spot with one blow. Too strong. Such a terrible power. Go. And held a spear in her hand and led several offensive players to kill. Xue Binge gave a blessing from the back row. Second soul skill, Ice Ring Armor. Author. The plot of the Soul Master competition will be skipped as soon as possible. Most of the competitions will be brief and glossed over, but the Qian Renxue competition will be described in a little more detail. Chapter 184 Soul Master Competition, Top 5 teams in the finals. And the others all had a thick layer of ice on their bodies for defense. Damn it, the second soul skill, Mammoth Strength. Yanlei confronted directly. Unbearable. His expression remained unchanged, and she swung her spear. It seemed like an ordinary attack, but at the moment when the two forces collided. Bang! Woo! Yanlei's body spun at high speed, and then jumped into the human-shaped turret. Mammoth Spiral Bullet, enter the shell. Speed 100%. The kinetic energy at the barrel is 100%. Fire! Yanlei used himself as a cannonball and instantly ejected from the human-shaped barrel with a very powerful impact force. Ah-ha-ha-ha. Ah-ha-ha-ha. Yanlei, who was spinning at high speed, laughed in an extremely devilish way and violently crashed into Qian Renxue. So stupid. Complained, with a calm face, and slightly tightened the silver dragon spear, just like playing baseball, with a glance, aiming, and the next second, a shot was fired. Bang. Ah. What? How is it possible? Such a terrible power was actually blasted to the ground by the shot. Yanlei rolled his eyes, foamed at the mouth, and fainted on the spot. Big brother. We admit defeat. Seeing this, Xiangjie directly admitted defeat. Qian Renxue, joint pain, was too strong, and it would be a torture if he continued to fight. Qian Renxue Academy wins. Su Yuntao was also stunned for a moment before announcing. Qian Renxue. There is such a powerful person. The whole audience was boiling. At this moment, Xingluo Team 1, Tiando Team 1, including other elemental academies, and all other strong teams looked at him with a serious face. Qian Renxue has undoubtedly become a strong enemy team, which makes everyone afraid. Was growing really fast, Chu Ye. Qian Renxue smiled. Chu Ye nodded. Well, his strength has not been fully demonstrated yet, and it is still unknown how strong she is. It seems that if we don't make a move, it will be very difficult to fight against Qian Renxue Academy. Shi Yu, Yan and others also felt the pressure. After the battle between Qian Renxue and Chu Ye, the rest of the games ended quickly. 15 teams were eliminated, and there were still 18 teams left. The next day, the game came to the second round. Today, the Wuhan Hall team finally played. The opponent was the academy on the Douluo side. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue did not play, and even Qian Renxue and Douluo did not play. There were only 2 main players and 5 substitutes. Because the finals actually only had a few games, in order to give the players a chance to play, they only had to use substitutes to play against such a weak team. But despite the 2 main players and 5 substitutes, the Spirit Hall still defeated the opponent, won the victory, and entered the top 10. Shenfen, Tianxue, Leiting, and Chu also advanced one after another. Xingluo's first team, led by Davis, the eldest prince of Xingluo, and Zhu Yun, the eldest daughter of the Zhu family, also won the victory easily. The game soon came to the last game. Tiando's first team played against Xingluo's Besao Academy. Third brother. Die boss. Come on. Ma Hongjin cheered on the side. Although he was a member of Tiando's second team and had already lost, he also came to Wuhan City to watch the game, but Zhu King did not follow. Let's go. The 7-man Tiando stage, the appearances were Tang San, Dai Mu Bai, Yu Tinhen, Dub Hian, Shimo, Yi Limling, and 9 Rong Rong. 2 strong attack system, 2 control system, 2 assistants, 1 defensor. Tang San and Yu Tinhen are both level 43, Dai Mu Bai is level 42, Dub Yan and Shimo are also at the Soul Sect level, 9 Rong Rong and Yi Limling are 2 assistants, Soul Master level. 5 Soul Sects and 2 Soul Masters. This level of soul power is not outstanding in the current Soul Master competition, but the overall strength of this team should not be underestimated. Originally, Tiando Royal Academy had only 1 strong attack system Soul Master, Yu Tinhen, and now there are Tang San and Dai Mu Bai, both offensive and defensive, both very strong, and good endurance. Tang San, Mu Bai, let's fight quickly. Yu Tinhen said. Yeah. The 2 nodded. Wrong wrong. The 7 treasures are transformed into glass, and the 7 treasures are famous. 1 is speed. The second is power. The third is soul. 9 Rong Rong's amplification is fully activated, and Tang San, Yu Tinhen and the other 3 have increased their speed, strength, and soul power. Go. The battle started. Tiando launched a fierce attack, and Yi Limling kept giving treatment in the back. Soon, the opposite Beast Academy was defeated in a short while, and Tiando won the victory almost without any injury. After the end, Tang San looked at Chu Ye in the Spirit Hall with a dead look, secretly resenting. Chu Ye, I will definitely make you pay the price. The second round of the game is over. There are currently 9 teams left, the Spirit Hall team, 5 teams from the Tiando Empire, and 3 teams from the Xingluo Empire, entering the top 9. The third round, 9-5. Shenfen Academy was lucky and drew a bye, and directly advanced to the top 5. In the first game of the third round, the Spirit Hall played against the Thunder Academy. Xingluo Team 1 played against the Blazing Academy. Tiando Team 1 played against the Cyrus Academy. Qian Renxue Academy played against the Holy Glory Academy. This time, the 4 of them, Wuhan Hall, Shiyu, Yan, Leona, and Yu, have all gone to battle, and with the support of Zhu, the quick attackers and Ping, and the strong attackers Yu Bai, they directly defeated the Thunder Academy. The powerful Thunder Academy seemed vulnerable in front of the Wuhan Hall, which not only put great pressure on the remaining teams. The Wuhan Hall is too strong. The Chu Ye and the young Master Qian Renxue haven't even played yet. They are so strong, how can other teams win? And the Gu, although only a 4-inch Soul Master, feels more terrifying than Qiu and Yan. The Wuhan Hall is really full of talents. 9 Fengzi also sighed. Next, Jia lost to Xingluo Team 1 and stopped here. The next 2 games were no suspense, Tiando Team 1 and Qian Renxue Academy both won the game. The final top 5 were the Wuhan Hall Team, Xingluo Team 1, Tiando Team 1, Shenfen Academy, and Qian Renxue Academy. Seeing someone asking me the name of the old book, I recommend one here. Douluo Dalu. Becoming stronger by beating Tang San is my first time writing Douluo fanfiction. I don't have much experience, so it's a bit toxic. If you're interested, you can take a look, but I suggest you don't read it. Douluo Dalu for all. I started with the 9 tests of the Sea God is also a bit toxic, with many female protagonists, but it uses the element of national time travel, which is a relatively novel theme. People who think it's good may find it very good. Chapter 185 Cooking with Qian Renxue. Before the fourth round of the finals, there will be a day off to allow the top 5 teams to adjust their status. The Spirit Hall team was relaxed, but the Douluo, Douluo, Shenfen, and Qian Renxue teams were busy even after a day off, discussing various tactics, strategies, and playing methods against the Spirit Hall. But they all came to a conclusion that if Chu Ye and Qian Renxue played at the same time, it seemed that there was no chance of winning. At this moment, at Chu Ye's home, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue were busy in the kitchen. Chu Ye. There is no soy sauce in the kitchen. Check quickly to see if there is any soy sauce in your Space Soul Guide. Help me get a bottle out. I need it. Yes, is Golden Dragonfish brand okay? Yes. The two are cooking in person, preparing some dishes that they liked, and would go to the Douluo collective dormitory and send them to. But since they were prepared, they couldn't just prepare for them, but also consider her teammates and the girls in Qian Renxue. So they worked for more than an hour before they got it done. Not bad. Chu Ye, your cooking skills have been getting better and better recently. I'm drooling. Chu Ye wanted to secretly take a piece of meat to wheat. Qian Renxue suddenly slapped Chu Ye on the back of his hand. Wait. Let's eat together after we get to his place. Okay. Chu Ye stopped eating secretly and grabbed Qian Renxue's jade hand, massaging her back with his thumb, and said gently, "But, to be honest, Chu Ye, with your cooking skills, you can open a restaurant outside." Of course. Qian Renxue was a little arrogant. Okay, let's pack up and go to his place quickly, the food will be cold soon. Yeah, let's go. The two packed up their things, Chu Ye carried them, and Qian Renxue held Chu Ye's arm. The two left the Pope's Hall together and went to the collective dormitory of the Douluo team. Although Tang San and the second prince's group wanted to kill Chu Ye, they would not dare to do so even if they had 100 courage in Wuhan City. Soon, the two arrived at the hotel where the Douluo team was. The eliminated teams had not left yet, because they had to wait until the end of the competition, so after Chu Ye and Qian Renxue came in, they met many students from other colleges. For them, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue were big shots, people with power, status, and top positions. Their arrival naturally caused a lot of heated discussions, and the news spread quickly. What? Chu Ye is here? I was very happy to hear the news. She ran to Qian Renxue College with great interest. Each college has a separate suite. At this moment, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue have arrived at the villa dormitory where Qian Renxue College is located. Welcome His Royal Highness the Son of God, His Royal Highness the Young Master. Seeing Chu Ye and Qian Renxue come in, the Qian Renxue collective students, including the leading teachers, were very respectful and saluted respectfully. Everyone, don't be so polite, just call us by our names, there is no distinction between superiors and subordinates here. Okay, Chu Ye, Qian Renxue. The girls looked at each other and changed their names again. We brought some food for that she likes, and we also prepared some for everyone. Did you make all these yourself? The girls from Qian Renxue smelled the aroma and felt very good. They were looking forward to it. Yeah. Qian Renxue smiled faintly. It looks very good. I didn't expect that Chu Ye and Qian Renxue not only have amazing talents, but also have such superb cooking skills. Thank you for the compliment. Shall we go to the table? Okay, let's go. It's so delicious. I haven't eaten what brother Chu Ye and sisters Wei made for a long time. Woon pouted and looked like she was about to cry. The girls from Qian Renxue were very enthusiastic because it was not just a relationship. In recent years, the supervisory hall created by Chu Ye and Qian Renxue has received unanimous praise from the people of the mainland and even the Soul Masters. In fact, the image and favorability of the Spirit Hall in the hearts of the people of the entire mainland have already been raised to a higher level invisibly. Everyone was at a big table, talking and laughing, and having a good conversation. The girls in Qian Renxue are actually a group of kind-hearted girls. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue feel quite comfortable getting along with them. I really didn't expect that the high-ranking son and young master of the Spirit Hall is so approachable in private, without any airs. She had been muttered in her heart, which made her and everyone else feel more favorable towards Chu Ye and Qian Renxue. Because she was used to seeing those powerful people who were very arrogant, looked down on others, and felt that they were superior. Chu Ye sat for a while and then went out to get some fresh air alone. There were a bunch of women in the room, and he was the only boy, which seemed a bit abrupt. In addition, there were some topics about girls, and it was not convenient for him, a man, to be there, so Chu Ye went out for a walk. As soon as he went out, he saw her not far away. Oh? Oh. Chu Ye, it's been a long time since we last met. Oh ran to Chu Ye shyly. Chu Ye smiled. Ha ha, haven't we seen each other every day in the past few days? How can that be the same? Oh blushed. During the competition, Chu Ye sat on the side of the spirit hall and could only watch from a distance. He didn't say a word for a few days. Well, it's been a long time since I saw you. When we went together to eliminate the spirit beasts that were causing chaos in the village, you were still a fledgling spirit master. Now, you have grown a lot and can stand on your own. Chu Ye smiled. I was very happy to receive Chu Ye's praise. She blushed slightly. Well, but I'm still far behind you. Chu Ye, shall we go for a walk? Oh invited. This, Chu Ye hesitated for a moment. He and you are old friends. After thinking about it, he agreed, okay, let's not go too far. Let's just walk in the small park next to us. Okay, the two walked side by side to the small park next to them, reminiscing about the past and chatting. Half an hour later, Chu Ye looked at the time and felt that it was almost time. Oh, I should go back. Wait. Chu Ye. Oh plucked up her courage and suddenly grabbed Chu Ye's arm, standing on tiptoes to kiss him. Oh is a straightforward and true girl. If she likes something, she likes it. If she wants to do something, she will do it. This is a rare opportunity for her to be alone with Chu Ye, and she will seize the moment. But just when Oh's lips were about to kiss Chu Ye covered Oh's mouth with his hand. Oh made a sound of him. Fortunately I reacted quickly enough. Chu Ye breathed a sigh of relief and smiled bitterly. Oh, do you want to kill me? What do you mean? Oh was stunned. If Chu Ye sees you kissing me, I'll be in trouble. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 186 Qian Renxue's possessiveness, Chu Ye being chased and hacked by his wife. I was a little speechless for a moment. Is he so afraid of his girlfriend? Chu Ye's face gradually became serious. I, Chu Ye, have only loved one woman in my life. She is Qian Renxue. I'm not interested in having 3 wives and 4 concubines. So, I'm sorry, Oh, we're only suitable to be friends. I understand. Looking at Chu Ye's firm, unshakable expression, Oh knew that she had no chance. Although she was a little disappointed, at least she had fought for it. At this moment, a very cold voice sounded behind Chu Ye. Chu Ye, what are you doing? Chu Ye suddenly had a very bad premonition in his heart. The person who came was Qian Renxue. From her angle, it seemed that Chu Ye was kissing her. It was like the shooting angle commonly used in TV dramas. It seemed that the two people kissed, but they didn't kiss at all. Chu Ye, you actually. Qian Renxue was immediately furious. His wife was angry. It's over. It's over. It's over. Swear. Misunderstanding. Misunderstanding. Listen to my explanation. Chu Ye panicked instantly. In the entire continent, the only person who could make him so panic was Qian Renxue. What else is there to explain? I saw it all. You actually kissed her. Qian Renxue's tone was filled with anger and grievance. Love is selfish. No one is willing to share the person they love with others, especially people with Qian Renxue's personality, who have a strong possessiveness. I didn't kiss. I didn't. I really didn't kiss. Swear, my wife. Listen to my explanation. Wait. Don't do it. Qian Renxue, who was already angry, shouted nothing. She directly raised the Qian sword in her hand and stabbed with a sword. Sword of gods and demons. Bang. Chu Ye quickly released his martial spirit to block Qian Renxue's sword, but he was repelled 5 or 6 meters by the sword. Oh my god. Swear, are you serious? What do you think? Qian Renxue swung another sword. Swear. Calm down first, it's really a misunderstanding, I'm really wrong. Chu Ye explained while resisting the attack. How could he really attack Qian Renxue? He could only block and dodge. It was the first time in Chu Ye's life that Qian Renxue chased and chopped him, but it seemed that every move was merciless, but she did not use her soul skills. Qian Renxue was indeed very angry, but how could she really hurt Chu Ye? Stop fighting. Don't fight anymore. Although Wu admired him, she did not deliberately add insult to injury or sow discord at this time. She took the initiative to explain. He really didn't kiss me, but I wanted to kiss him, but his hand blocked it. I put lipstick on my lips. You can see the lipstick mark on Chu Ye's palm. Qian Renxue stopped attacking after hearing this, and her emotions finally calmed down. Chu Ye, I really misunderstood you. Chu Ye was relieved and showed her the lipstick mark on his palm. Qian Renxue's anger subsided, but she was not friendly to Wu. Oh, listen to me, don't try to hit on my man again, otherwise don't blame me for being rude to you. After that, Qian Renxue took Chu Ye away. Afterwards, the two returned to Tianxue, said goodbye to Miss Tianxue, and left to return to the Pope's palace. On the way back, Qian Renxue had completely calmed down, and realized that she had been impulsive and misunderstood Chu Ye. She felt sorry in her heart, so she took the initiative to apologize. I'm sorry, Chu Ye, Silly, you're right. If it were me, it would be difficult to stay calm in that situation. Chu Ye smiled helplessly, and then touched Qian Renxue's head. A small misunderstanding passed, but the relationship between the two seemed to be one step closer. The next day, the competition continued. The fourth round was 5-3. Team Tiando was lucky enough to get a bicard and advance to the top 3. So, there are only 2 games today. The first one is between the Spirit Hall team and the Divine Wind Academy. The second one is between Tianshui Academy and Xingluo Royal Academy. Feng Xiaoshan has been looking forward to this day for a long time. He has been practicing hard until now just to have another fight with Chu Ye. Chu Ye, I hope you can play in this game. Feng Xiaoshan shouted to Chu Ye with a strong desire in his eyes. Okay, then I'll play with you. Chu Ye stood up slowly, and the whole audience began to get excited. He's on. The Holy Son of the Spirit Hall is finally on the court. I can finally see the heroic figure of the Holy Son Chu Ye. How strong will he be? I'm so looking forward to it. The whole audience has cheered, and there are a lot of girls screaming excitedly. Countless people's eyes are focused on Chu Ye, expecting and fearing. Since the captain is going to play, there is no need for us to play. Just be a salted fish, just be a salted fish, ha ha. Yan smiled innocently. Ha ha, if you want to play, follow me. I'll come. I'll come too. When Chu Ye came on the court, the Spirit Hall no longer had to consider any lineup, just get 7 people. Because Chu Ye alone was enough to wipe out a team. So, several substitutes also came on the court. They were Chu Ye, Xingping, Sun Chuantao, Li Gai, Zhu Yu, Wang Yo, and Yi Fan. 3 strong attackers, 1 agile attacker, 1 defensor, and 2 assistants. He actually brought a bunch of substitutes to play against us. This Chu Ye is looking down on us too much. Several members of the Shenfen team are a little unhappy. Although most of them are substitutes, Chu Ye's presence should not be underestimated. Everyone, give 100% of your condition. Feng Xiaoshan had a serious face. Yes. Captain. Open the spirit. Gale 2-headed wolf. Woo. A wolf with 2 wolf heads appeared behind Feng Xiaoshan. Stay here, I'll test the waters first. Third solar skill, swift wind wings. A pair of wings appeared behind Feng Xiaoshan, rushing like the wind. Chu Ye, I'm no longer the Feng Xiaoshan I was before. Take my blow. Chu Ye did not move at all, and just as Feng Xiaoshan was about to attack, he suddenly punched him. Bang! The 2 forces collided, and Feng Xiaoshan was beaten back on the spot. First solar skill, Wind Blade Array. Swish, swish, swish. Bang, bang, bang. Chu Ye easily avoided it, not even moving 1 meter away from the original place. Ha! Feng Xiaoshan desperately attacked with all his strength, using the height of the flight and various tricky angles above to attack Chu Ye. But no matter how Feng Xiaoshan fought, Chu Ye's hands could easily resolve his attacks. Damn it. Second solar skill, Double Wolf Possession. Feng Xiaoshan's attack, defensor, and agility were all increased by 50%, and he had adjusted his own state to the strongest. He attacked Chu Ye again, but still couldn't hurt Chu Ye at all. Damn it. Damn it. Why? Why is the gap still so big? He hasn't even activated his martial arts spirit. Chapter 187. Chu Ye comes on stage, the whole audience is boiling. The more Feng Xiaoshan fought, the more frustrated he felt, and the less confident he became. He activated his first, second, and third solar skills, but they still didn't work. Chu Ye was in a state without using his martial soul. Bang! Feng Xiaoshan was beaten back by Chu Ye again with one punch. Chu Ye was fine, but Feng Xiaoshan, who was attacking, was already panting. Too strong. Too strong. This is Chu Ye, the holy son of the Spirit Hall. He didn't activate his martial soul, but he made Feng Xiaoshan, a level 51 Soul King, so exhausted. The audience exclaimed. Feng Xiaoshan, your strength is indeed improved a lot, but according to what you said, I'm not the same person I was back then. Chu Ye looked at Feng Xiaoshan indifferently, and then said, take out all your strength, take your team members, and go all out. Damn it. Go together. Give it an increase. Yes. The two assistants of the Divine Wind took action, directly mobilizing two sets of soul skills, giving them to Feng Xiaoshan and the other members, and their strength began to rise rapidly. Go. Feng Xiaoshan brought three members of the Divine Wind and attacked collectively. Fourth soul skill, Twin Wolf Wind Shadow. Third soul skill. Fourth soul skill. All four of the Divine Wind released their soul skills to attack. Not bad. Chu Ye smiled, and the next second, he finally released his martial soul. The sword of gods and demons gathered in front of him. Chu Ye grasped it with one hand, and the terrifying aura and sword energy rose instantly, raging around his body. At this moment, the soul rings under his feet also emerged in circles, purple, purple, blab, blab, red, red. Fuck. 2 purple, 2 blab, 2 red. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I have never seen or heard of anyone with such a terrifying soul ring configuration on the continent. There are also 200,000-year soul rings. 100,000-year soul rings, even the titled Douluo don't have it. Too scary. The Holy Son of the Spirit Hall is too scary. Too evil. At this moment, except for the known people, everyone was stunned, staring with wide eyes and mouths, looking like their jaws were about to drop. Shocked, shocked, horrified, horrified, unimaginable, the scene instantly fell into a panic, all kinds of stunned roars and screams. Chu Ye's name has long been resounding throughout the Soul Master world and even the entire continent, but few people know his true power and his current true strength. And now, Chu Ye has truly demonstrated his strength to the entire continent. Boiling. Shocked, your wall, the appearance of His Highness the Holy Sun will officially be the best in the world today. Ha 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 ha. Douluo was extremely excited. The first soul skill, the double slash of gods and demons. Light and dark fusion slash. Chu Ye cooperated with the sword intent and swung a sword casually. The huge sword energy slash of light and darkness fuse directly repelled the attacks of the four people. Bang. Ah. Feng Xiaoshan and the other four were beaten back on the spot. Damn. The first soul skill directly beat back four people. Do you have to be so fierce? So strong? At this moment, Feng Xiaoshan's face finally showed a look of fear. He knew that Chu Ye was very strong, but he didn't expect him to be so strong. What kind of monster is this? I have been training hard until now, but not only have I not gotten closer to him, but the gap is getting bigger and bigger. I'm afraid that you will never be able to reach his level in my life. Feng Xiaoshan's heart was completely subdued, and he also completely understood that he and Chu Ye were not people at the same level at all. His genius seemed to be not worth mentioning in front of this man. But Feng Xiaoshan will still try his best in this battle. Fifth soul skill, Tornado Blade. A layer of strong green light popped out from Feng Xiaoshan, turning into countless extremely sharp wind blades that looked like entities, and burst into a dazzling tornado that swept towards Chu Ye. Captain. Be careful. The members of the Spirit Hall behind him reminded, wanting to step forward to help resist. Back off. Chu Ye raised the sword of gods and demons, and the golden light flashed. The next second, he slashed with a sword. Divine light breaks the sky. Bang. Ah. Feng Xiaoshan screamed, and the condensed soul skill power was instantly repelled. His body slammed heavily on the ground, and he was seriously injured in one fell swoop, with blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. Ha! The remaining three attacked again at the same time. Chu Ye stood in place, and the god and demon sword intent that had reached the advanced sword intent was like a sword blade. When Chu Ye waved his hand, countless sword ki slashed and flew out. Swish, swish, swish. Bang, bang. Ah, ah, ah. The three shenfens flying in the sky were all slashed to the ground by Chu Ye's sword energy. Advanced sword intent, only 18 years old, the sword intent has reached this level. This boy's talent in swordsmanship has surpassed me back then. He must go further than me. Genius, a true swordsmanship genius. Qian Renxue, who has always been calm, had a very wonderful, complex, and even surprised expression on his face. At the same time, Qian Renxue also saw a trace of what he looked like in the past in Chu Ye. Chu Ye relied on his own strength to challenge the 7 people of Shenfeng Academy. He was able to deal with it so calmly, making the 7 Shenfengs extremely difficult, and he was not hurt at all. Chu Ye. Even if we can't win, I don't believe that we can't hurt you at all. Let me show you my self-created soul skill that I have practiced hard. 54 consecutive slashes of the winged wolf. Feng Xiaoxin's wings and arms merged into one, and he slashed continuously. Oh, he has already practiced to 54 consecutive slashes. Interesting. It seems that he has worked hard to surpass me. Chu Ye was a little surprised. In his cognition, during the Soul Master competition, Feng Xiaoxin's maximum was 36 consecutive slashes, and 5 years later, he only had 54 consecutive slashes. It can be seen how hard-working and diligent Feng Xiaoxin was in the days he didn't know. This is enough to win his respect and recognition. Your self-created soul skill, the 54 consecutive slashes of the winged wolf, is very similar to my 36 consecutive slashes of gods and demons. They have the same purpose. I will use this similar trick to compete with you. A black 10,000-year soul ring rose under Chu Ye's feet. Third soul skill, 36 consecutive slashes of gods and demons. Hush. The two of them were like a parallel line about to connect, and both sides rushed towards each other. Bang. Chu Ye's sword and Feng Xiaoxin's wind wing blade collided for the first time. Then the two of them launched a fierce combo at the same time. Bang, bang, bang. The two sides launched a rapid combo in the air, like two lights and shadows, madly hitting, exchanging moves, dueling, and colliding. The speed was so fast that it was almost difficult to catch with the naked eye. 10 consecutive cuts. 20 consecutive cuts. 21 consecutive cuts. The two launched a combo at the same time. The number of combos was the same at the beginning, and Chu Ye gradually slowed down the number of combos. He planned to let Feng Xiaoxin complete all 54 consecutive cuts. As the number of combos increased, Chu Ye and Feng Xiaoxin's speed and attack power became stronger and stronger. Chapter 188 The 3-Power Battle. Both of their moves can become stronger by increasing the number of combos. 50 consecutive cuts. 30 consecutive cuts. 53 consecutive cuts. 32 consecutive cuts. The last blow, 54 consecutive cuts. Hey! Feng Xiaoxin screamed. This was his last cut and would be his most powerful one. 33 consecutive cuts. Chu Ye only hit 33. It's over. Rest. Bang. Chu Ye's sword finally hit Feng Xiaoxin's body. With this sword, Feng Xiaoxin was completely defeated and fell to the ground, losing his ability to fight. Chu Ye's body then landed steadily on the ground. Looking at the 7 divine whims in front of him, he said, "Everyone, do you still need to fight?" We admit defeat. The 7 divine whims lowered their heads slightly, no longer having the courage and motivation to fight again. The whole audience was silent, and everyone was almost immersed in the battle just now and Chu Ye's terrifying strength. Before they even reacted, the battle was over. Xinpu. Just like that, lost. Hey. He just used his 3rd soul skill. He defeated Xinpu alone. Look. Chu Ye is not hurt at all, just a piece of clothes on his arm was cut. This is the Spirit Hall team. Is this the St. Chu Ye? Too strong. He is really too strong. Awesome. It's so terrifying. The storm after the calm, the next second, the scene was full of screams and shouts like a storm. At this moment, all the geniuses present, Yu Tianhen, Tang San, Daimu Bai, Erwish Wang, Eo, Xu Binja, Yu Tianxing, Davis, seemed to be eclipsed, and under Chu Ye's absolute aura, they seemed to be as inconspicuous as ordinary people. Let the younger generation, everyone can only look up. Chu Ye absolutely leads all the young generations of this generation. Chu Ye will become the insurmountable peak in the hearts of all the young generations. And this battle, Chu Ye completely became famous in the entire Soul Master world. But only Tang San was unwilling to accept it. He secretly clenched his fists and thought viciously, "Chu Ye, I will make you fall from the altar. No matter how high you stand, I will step on you." In the audience, the dragon snake couple, known as the Pillar Dragon and Snake, were also present. Their granddaughter, Mengyaran, stood between them. At this moment, Mengyaran was already full of admiration, shy, and blushing. Too handsome. The Holy Son of the Spirit Hall is too handsome. I have heard that the Holy Son of the Spirit Hall, Chu Ye, is peerless and outstanding. He and the young master of the Spirit Hall, Qian Renxue, are the first geniuses in the Spirit Master world today. The two are called the peerless duo of this era. When I saw him today, he subverted my imagination and was even better than I expected. Chu Ye is so outstanding, then how can Qian Renxue, who is known as the peerless duo of Chu Ye, be inferior? Mengya aunt looked at him with great excitement, and her eyes were full of Chu Ye's Qian Renxue. She was looking forward to Qian Renxue's appearance. Nine Feng's heart was in turmoil. He asked, Uncle Jian, in your opinion, what is Chu Ye's true strength now? I think it's enough to compete with titled Luo. Jian Luo said. Titled Luo. In the past, Nine Feng's would never believe that a Soul Empire could beat a titled Luo, but he had no doubt about the young man in front of him. But what they didn't know was that when Chu Ye was a Soul King, he had already killed a titled Luo. Feng Xiaoshan, you have made great progress. When you were in the Seven Treasures Glazed sect, you only had 18 consecutive slashes, right? Chu Ye walked in front of Feng Xiaoshan and stretched out his hand. Feng Xiaoshan hesitated for a moment, grabbed the palm that Chu Ye handed over, and stood up with the help of the Force. He sighed and said, in fact, I got some inspiration from your 36 consecutive slashes of gods and demons, so I practiced 54 consecutive slashes. Otherwise, I might only have 36 at most now. I see. Chu Ye smiled. Speaking of which, their two moves are indeed very similar. Feng Xiaoshan sighed again and smiled bigly. Alas, even if I have grown fast enough, compared with you, a monster, it's like standing still. Ha ha, Brother Fen, you don't need to compare with me, as long as you keep surpassing yourself, it's enough. With your talent, you will become a titled Luo in the future. Work hard, I'm optimistic about you. Chu Ye patted Feng Xiaoshan on the shoulder and turned to leave. As long as Feng Xiaoshan continues to practice diligently, Chu Ye believes that he will definitely become a titled Luo. Titled Luo. Feng Xiaoshan silently clenched his fists. To be honest, he didn't think too much about this realm, but now he began to yearn for it. In this way, the Wuhan Hall team also entered the top 3. Today, there is only one game left, Qian Renxue College vs. Xingluo Royal College. The game between the two sides will start soon. The strength of the two sides is not much different. After a fierce battle, super strength finally allowed Qian Renxue to gain the upper hand. Luoxing Team 1 was forced to use its last trump card. Davis and Zhu Zhuang's 2-body and 1-spirit fusion technique, the Netherworld White Tiger. Raw. Zero. Qian Renxue College was not to be outdone, and finally used one of their trump cards, Xue Binjuan Zhuo's 2-body and 1-spirit fusion technique. Ice Phoenix. On the field, the huge Netherworld White Tiger fusion body and the huge Ice Phoenix, 2 fusion beast bodies, faced off head-on. Bang. The terrifying energy swept the entire field. Although the Netherworld White Tiger was a little stronger, the Ice Phoenix also knocked off the opponent's fusion state. And finally harvested and won the game, advancing to the top 3. Xingluo Team 1 was eliminated. The top 3 places were produced, namely the Wuhan Hall Team, Tiando Royal Academy Team 1, and Qian Renxue College. No one expected that Qian Renxue College, which seemed to be the bottom of the 5 elemental colleges, actually made it into the top 3 of the Soul Master competition. But after Chu Ye appeared, the championship seemed to be no suspense. What the audience is now looking forward to is who will win the second place between Tiando Team 1 and Qian Renxue College. After a day of rest, the competition soon came to the top 3 competition. There are no direct buys in this round. The 3 teams will compete on the same stage for the priority to advance to the finals. Arena competition. Each of the 3 teams will send out 7 people to fight in a 1v1 duel. If they win, they will continue to play, and if they lose, they will make a substitution. The 3 teams will take turns to make substitutions until all 7 people from 2 teams are defeated. The winning team will directly advance to the final. The 2 losing teams will have a 7v7 team battle. The winning team will enter the finals. The losing team will be the 3rd place in this competition. At the scene, Su Yuntao moistened his throat and shouted, "Now, I declare. The top 3 competition begins." Chapter 189 Tang San's Trick. The top 3 competition is about to begin. Please prepare yourselves and discuss the order of appearance. It will officially begin in 3 minutes. Su Yuntao said. At this moment, the 3 teams were discussing the players and the order of appearance. Soon, they were determined. The same thing was that they were all fighting spirit masters, without a single assistant. After all, it was a 1v1 single challenge arena match, and no team would bring an assistant. The order of appearance of the Wuhan Hall team was Qian, Xingping, Sun Chuantao, Yan, Liana, Shi Yu, Qian Renxue, and Chu Ye. Qian was the first to appear, and Chu Ye was in charge of the last checkpoint, but it was unlikely that he would appear. On the Tiando team, the order of appearance of the 7 people was Oslo, Yu Fen, Shimu, Dugyan, Daimu Bai, Yu Tinhen, and Tang San. The order of appearance of the 7 people from Tianshui Academy was Shin Liu, Ge Qingbo, Qian Renxue, Yu Heru, Chu Ye, Xu Binja, and N. Chu Ye is likely to be the last person to sit in the Spirit Hall. If it's just our Tiando Royal Academy, we will definitely not be able to force Chu Ye to play, but with Tianshui Academy, there is still a chance. Tang San secretly paid attention to Chu Ye. The current 1v1 competition was Tang San's best chance to attack Chu Ye. Compared with team battles, he was more confident that Chu Ye would be poisoned in a single fight. Then, who will be the first person to appear in the Spirit Hall? Tang San thought quickly. According to the normal strategy, it was from weak to strong. However, the first person to stand out in the Spirit Hall was Qian. It's Qian. The Spirit Hall actually sent her to play first. There was a small heated discussion at the scene. Tang San frowned. Qian? Although Qian's spirit power was only level 45, everyone knew very well that this girl's fighting power was not inferior to Xiu, Yan, and Liana. The Spirit Hall actually sent out such a strong person first. They don't play by the rules. Since they are not following the order from weak to strong, then Chu Ye may be able to play in advance. Tang San was delighted. The order of appearance of each team. Although it was determined before, the teams did not know it. The Spirit Hall actually went from weak to strong, but Qian wanted to play first, so she was the first. Qian walked onto the stage slowly. Su Yuntao shouted, "Now, please invite the first member of Tianshui Academy to the stage." Among the 7 Tianshui people, Chen Liu stood up, walked onto the stage, and came to the opposite side of Qian. Tianshui Academy, Chen Liu, 38th level strong attack system combat spirit master, spirit and animal lucky crocodile, please teach me. Spirit Hall, Qian, 45th level strong attack system combat spirit master, spirit elementalist, please teach me. After a brief introduction and greeting, both sides activated their spirits at the same time. The battle is about to begin, and the top 3 competition will begin. First soul skill, the lucky crocodile penetrates the body. Chen Liu immediately activated the strengthening and amplification skill, and then rushed forward with all his strength. Qian's strength had been demonstrated in the previous team battle, and everyone knew that Qian was very strong. Tianshui girls must go all out. Qian's mouth slightly raised, and a ball of flame immediately condensed in his hand. Use fire to resist water. Unless the quality of your fire is better than my water. Water and fire counteract each other, water counteracts fire, and fire can evaporate water, but when the 2 elements are of equal strength, water usually has the upper hand. And which student who can represent Tianshui College in the battle will have a weaker water element quality and strength? But just when the forces of both sides collided, Qian's fire element instantly extinguished Chen Liu's water element energy attack. What? Bang! Shin Liu cried out and was directly beaten back by the fire fist, which made her and all the Tianshui students look extremely solemn. Her fire element strength is actually completely suppressing Liu and sneered. Hehe, Qian's fire element is at higher quality and stronger than the fire of me, who is known as the Lord of Fire. Chu Ye also smiled in his heart. What kind of martial spirit is an elementalist? That is part of the Silver Dragon King. Not to mention fire, the strength of Qian's other elemental attributes is also the best in the continent. To some extent, Qian is the nemesis of the 5 major elemental academies. Obviously defeated, but still fighting in this way, Tianshui Academy doesn't want to win. Tang San looked gloomy. Qian's strength is obviously stronger than Shin Liu, and the strength of the Spirit Hall is obviously stronger than Tiando and Tianshui. In this case, they still fight seriously. If you don't use consumption tactics, prolong the battle time, and consume the state of the Spirit Hall members as much as possible, it will be difficult to win. Tang San's face was gloomy, and he stood up slowly. Walking towards Tianshui, his expression had returned to calm, and he smiled. Everyone, I wonder if there is any possibility for us to cooperate? Cooperation? How do you want to cooperate? Xu Binja glanced at Tang San. Both of our teams adopt the attrition tactic, and everyone tries their best to consume the state of the Spirit Hall team members, so that the next person to appear will have a greater chance of defeating the Spirit Hall people. And if our two teams meet, we can simply fight a few moves, and then take the initiative to admit defeat, so that our people can maintain the best state. In this way, if we cooperate, we have a great probability of defeating the Spirit Hall team. Everyone, what do you think? Tang San's mouth corners slightly raised. In his opinion, it is a win-win situation, there is no reason to refuse. But Xue Bin's answer was beyond Tang San's expectation. Sorry, we are not interested in your idea, please go back. Tang San frowned. Why don't you want to win? First, kill the Spirit Hall, so that both of our teams have a great chance to advance directly to the finals. First of all, even if the Spirit Hall does not win the 3-strong competition, they will still enter the finals. Secondly, even if we do not advance directly to the finals, we have enough confidence to defeat you and enter the finals. Finally, we want to compete in an upright manner and do not want to use such despicable means with you. Please go back. Xue Bin's eyes became sharper and she said unceremoniously. Tang San's face suddenly darkened. His goal was not to win, but to fight Chu Ye in this 1v1 ring battle and poison Chu Ye. He did not want to give up this great opportunity and wanted to continue to persuade. But at this moment, he suddenly stood up and said to Tang San in an extremely cold manner, "Get out." You. Tang San was furious. Who was always naive and cute, suddenly became cold. She looked at Tang San coldly with hostility in her eyes. "Get out of here, do you hear me?" Tang San clenched his fist tightly, but he finally swallowed his anger and turned away. While the two sides were talking, Xin Liuyu had also been defeated by Giyu. Next. Giyu smiled faintly, her state was not much consumed. Chapter 190 Giyu defeats 4 people alone. Go. Consume her. Yes. The next person to appear was Oslo from Tiando. He nodded and jumped onto the stage. Tiando Royal Academy, Oslo, Level 41, Agile Attack System Combat Spirit Master, Martial Spirit, Ghost Leopard. Giyu said nothing and directly condensed a fireball and smashed it. Oslo had no intention of attacking at all. He quickly dodged Giyu's attack by taking advantage of his own speed. What are the people from Tiando doing? Qian Renxue frowned. Hehe, you want to consume us. Chu Ye glanced at Tang San not far away and saw through everything. You play this trick on me? Giyu sneered and stood still without taking action. This confused Oslo. If you don't take action again, then we will just consume it. I will recover my spirit power by the way. Giyu said casually, and then sat cross-legged on the ground. Damn it. Seeing this, Oslo had to take the initiative to attack. First solar skill, Ghost Leopard Fierce Claw. Here. Giyu smiled, and a ball of earth element rose from the ground to assist the attack. Then he turned around exquisitely, condensed ice in his palm, and chopped it down like a nice knife. Puff. Ah. Oslo was chopped away on the spot. Second solar skill, Ghost Leopard Speed Shadow. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. First solar skill, Elemental Tide. The two sides finally launched a fierce confrontation. Giyu used various attributes to completely suppress Oslo. Although he could not consume Giyu's state to a great extent, Oslo was also trying his best to avoid it. The head-on confrontation prolonged the time and battle. If not, Oslo would have been knocked down by Giyu at this moment. This woman is too strong. I can't hold on for much longer. I can only go all out and consume her in the end. Oslo was beaten back by Giyu again, and a purple soul ring immediately appeared under his feet. Third solar skill, Leopard Shadow Clone. Several Oslos appeared on the field in an instant. Second solar skill, Element Control. Giyu strengthened his power of element amplification and control, and defeated Oslo's clones one by one. Third solar skill, Leopard Shadow Clone. Damn, the people from Tiando Royal Academy are too disgusting. This guy doesn't even use the fourth solar skill, and keeps using the third solar skill's clone to consume Giyu. Oslo's behavior has caused displeasure among many spectators, but it must be said that his third solar skill is indeed very good at consuming opponents. In addition, the speed of the Agile Attack System Soul Master is fast, and it is not easy to knock him down in a consumption war. In the end, Giyu's state was consumed by more than half, and then he was knocked to the ground by Giyu's fireball. Well done, Oslo, her. Tang San smiled proudly in his heart. This Giyu's control of the elements is amazing. Nine Fengzi couldn't help but admire. Douluo nodded. Indeed, the girl's ability was not fully demonstrated in the previous team competition, but after these two individual battles, it seems that this girl is also very charming and will become a great man in the future. Alas, the Spirit Hall is full of talents. 9 Feng Ziside again. Next. Qian Renxue College, Qingbo, 39th level agility attack system battle spirit master, spirit, blue sailfish, please teach me. Another beautiful girl from Qian Renxue came on stage. She started a confrontation with Qian. Qian from the Spirit Hall was just exhausted by the Douluo. I guess it will be difficult to win this game. Of course, it's not that easy to fight 3 against 1. The audience discussed. Qian had indeed consumed more than half of her soul power and physical strength, and her speed, strength, and all aspects had declined, but her performance still shocked everyone. With superb control and use of elements, she once again knocked down the second member of Qian Renxue, Qingbo, in a stunning way. Bang! Ah! Qingbo couldn't hold on to Qian's last blow and fell down. Oh my god! She won again. She has fought 3 people in a row. Too strong. Qian panted slightly, her condition had declined significantly. Next one. Qiando Royal Academy, Yufen, 41st level agility attack system combat soul master, martial soul, winged bird. After 3 battles, your condition has been greatly consumed. Although your strength is far better than mine, you'll definitely lose this battle. Yufen was very confident. Really? Qian still looked calm and composed, with the demeanor of a great general. First solar skill, Wind Blade. Third solar skill, Wind and Clouds. Second solar skill, Element Control. Qian started fighting again, but this time it was obviously very difficult. Lost, Wind Hall Qian must have lost this battle. 1 against 4, it's too difficult, and Qiando is not a human being, this Yufen is still using the consumption method. Everyone was no longer optimistic about Qian, but Qian broke everyone's prediction again. Third solar skill, Element Fusion. Wind, Earth, Water, Fire, Thunder, Qian's 5 elemental attributes merged together, a terrifying force that made Yufen unable to avoid. What a strong power. No. I can't avoid it. 4th solar skill. Yufen could only resist, but the power gap was too big, and he was knocked down by Qian on the spot. Bang. Ah. Yufen was severely injured by the blow and lost his ability to fight. Qian wins. Fuck. She won again. She won again. She beat 4 people alone. And she was under the condition that Qiando was deliberately consuming her. How is this possible? The audience at the scene were all impressed by Qian's strength. Her talent and strength were also fully demonstrated in these few games. Qian, it's almost done, go off the stage and rest. Chu Ye said. Okay. After Qian defeated Yufen with a 1-4 victory, her state was indeed at the limit. She nodded and took the initiative to give up and go off the stage. Damn it, if Qian Renxue was willing to cooperate, how could this woman kill 4 people by herself? Tangsan was extremely unhappy and secretly hated Qian Renxue Academy. The next second, it was Ping from the Spirit Hall and Qian Renxue from Qian Renxue Academy who appeared. Captains from the Spirit Hall, Ping, a 47th level agility attack system soul master, spirit, golden wasted flying swallow, please teach me. Qian Renxue Academy, Qian Renxue, a 39th level power attack system soul master, spirit, billion Zulu, please teach me. Although Ping's strength was not as amazing as Qian's, who was not a genius to represent the Spirit Hall. The 8-level gap allowed Ping to quickly win the first game. Next one. Qiando Royal Academy, Graphite, level 41 Defensive Soul Master, Martial Soul, Black Tortoise. Defensive Soul Master, damn, the defensive system is also good at attrition. Graphite's defensor is already very powerful, and Ping is not the strongest strong attack Soul Master. The agile attack system will be restrained by the defensive Soul Master to a large extent. Chapter 191 Davis. My stupid brother. After Ping's fierce attack, they ended up in a tie with Shimo and left the field one after another. Qiando and Qiando each had 4 people left, and Wigan Hall had 5 people left. It seemed that the 3 teams took turns, but because of Wigan Hall's winning streak and the order was just right, so far, it was completely 2 teams that took turns to attack Wigan Hall. But despite this, Wigan Hall still had the lead in terms of numbers. Next. Wigan Hall team, Sun Chuan Tao, 48th level strong attack system Soul Master, Soul, Giant Ring Blade. Qian Renxue College, Yu Heru, 42nd level strong attack system Soul Master, Soul, Coral Barracuda. Qian Renxue College finally had its first Soul Master. The gap of 6 levels wouldn't be that big, and Yu's area was also very strong, knocking Sun Chuantao down by half, but in the end he was defeated and fell off the stage. Tiando continued to send people, and the one who appeared was Yan. Team 1 of Tiando Royal Academy, Yan, level 42 control Spirit Master, Spirit, Jade Scale Snake. Yan's eyes were cold and resentful, and she forgot to look at Chu Ye on the viewing platform. The poison in her body had been cured by Tang San. Although her spirit power was only level 42, her poison attack and her own strength had increased too much. In addition, her grandfather Bo was killed by the Spirit Hall. Now Yan has the determination to avenge her grandfather. Her combat ability and combat skills have also improved greatly. Her strength should not be underestimated. She had already fought a match with Sun Chuantao, but was defeated by Yan. Next, Elena from the Spirit Hall team. Nana, come on. Chu Ye and Yan cheered. Chu Ye said, Nana, fight well. Yeah. Elena stood up slowly, twisted her hips, and walked slowly to the stage with a charming smile on her face. The battle between Elena and Yan began soon. Both of them are control-type spirit masters, but one is a field control type, and the other is more inclined to mental control. Both lack spirit skills with strong offensive capabilities, so while competing in control ability, the close combat ability of the two is also that key. And Elena, like Chu Ye, is a direct disciple of Bai Dong, so her close combat ability is naturally particularly outstanding. After a battle, Yan was quickly defeated. Elena was able to complete 100 consecutive victories in the Slaughter City, although it was a big water, but her close combat must be at high standard. Next. Qian Renxue Academy Chu Ye, 42nd level agility attack system combat spirit master, martial spirit dolphin. Here is the level of the comics. Chu Ye's strength is also excellent, but after all, she is no match for Elena and is defeated again. Next, Bai of Tiando Royal Academy. Bai, it depends on you. Elena has gone through 2 rounds of battles and her condition has declined a lot. With your strength, there is a high probability that you can defeat her. Tang San patted Bai's shoulder and solemnly entrusted him. Don't worry, Sha-san. Bai was still a little uncomfortable. In the past, Tang San always called him Day Boss, but since Tang San became more and more awesome, he has started to call him Bai. Tiando Royal Academy, Bai. Level 42 strong attack system battle spirit master, martial spirit evil-eyed white tiger. Bai shouted loudly and jumped onto the stage in one fell swoop, with a confident look. Bai. Elena smiled charmingly, and her eyes soon flashed red. First spirit skill, Fox Charm. Elena made a very sexy and enchanting moan. She had been trained in special charm by Bai Dong since a very early age. With the same spirit charm type spirit skills, it seems that there are not many men in the world who can resist, unless their spirit power and mental strength are far superior to hers. A playboy like Bai, who was a little obsessed with women, was instantly fascinated by Elena's smile. Bai was completely controlled by the charm, and he showed a crazy look, intoxicated by the gentleness created by the charm. Davis, Bai's brother, who was watching, said speechlessly, "This idiot is simply embarrassing our Dai family." Elena sneered, and the next second, her jade feet in high shoes stomped hard on Bai's face. Bang! Bai screamed and was kicked away on the spot. Damn! I was careless. First soul skill, White Tiger Body Shield. Bai started to increase his skills to the limit, but Elena's next wave of offensive had already hit. Just after he started, he was beaten by Elena's combination of punches. Lonely Charm. Elena's eyes flashed red again. No. The trick again. Bai closed his eyes and refused to look into her eyes. It's useless, my charm, even if you can't see it, will still make you intoxicated. It's over. Bai was seduced again. Bai's heart was too impure, he had a lot of desire for women. Facing Elena's charm, he was completely swayed around, like a fool, and was beaten by Elena. Bang! Bang! There were screams on the field. After a while, he was beaten by Elena and fell to the ground in shame. My stupid brother. You have brought shame to the Dai family. Davis looked ugly. He didn't care about Daimu Bai, but Daimu Bai's behavior, which brought shame to his royal family. Damn it, with Daimu Bai's strength and a consumption of 2 rounds, he has a great chance to defeat Yelena, but this guy, Tang San, looked disappointed, clenched his fists, and looked ugly. Now there are only 2 people left in Qian Renxue, and there are only me and Ju Tinhen left on our side, and there are still 4 people in the spirit hall. Yelena consumed a lot of energy in the battle with Qian and Chu Ye, but Daimu Bai was completely obsessed with Yelena's charm, allowing her to win the 3rd game and complete a 1-on-3 victory. However, Yelena's condition is almost the same, and it will be difficult to win the next one. Tang San's face has become more and more ugly. Damn it, the current situation is not good for us. According to the current situation, it is very likely that the Spirit Hall will not need Chu Ye to play. Next, Qian Renxue College, Xue Binja. Sister Binja. Come on. Yeah. Xue Binja smiled faintly and walked onto the stage. Xue Binja, besides, is the strongest student in Qian Renxue College in terms of both strength and talent. Whether it is a one-on-one or a team battle, he is one of the core figures in Qian Renxue College, Xue Binja, 44th level Control Spirit Master, Martial Spirit, Ice Phoenix. Facing Xue Binja, Yelena's charm has obviously weakened a lot. Xue Binja is strong in heart, mature and calm in character, so she will not be easily fooled. First spirit skill, freeze. Instant. That's right, Xue Binja can perform instant spirit skills, allowing spirit skills to be activated instantly and controlling the consumption of spirit power to the minimum. Chapter 192 Qian Renxue appears. The excitement is boiling again. This is the strength of Xue Binja. There are also some soul masters who can use soul skills instantly, including Chu Ye, Qian Renxue, and Tang San, but for normal people to use soul skills instantly, they have to spend several times more soul power than ordinary soul skills. Yelena can only keep running to avoid the ice, but she is not only no longer able to do it. After several battles, Yelena finally lost. Next, Yu Tinhen from Tiando Royal Academy. Hehe, finally it's not their 2 teams taking turns to attack us. Yu smiled. The current situation is already unfavorable, and now we have to fight with the people of Qian Renxue. Tang San's heart became more and more gloomy. Yu Tinhen, it's up to you next. I'll do my best. Yu Tinhen glanced at Tang San and walked to their stage. Tiando Royal Academy, Yu Tinhen, 43rd level Strong Attack System Combat Soul Master, Martial Soul, Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex. The 4 rings under Yu Tinhen's feet appeared, and the blue dragon with electricity behind him had a strong aura. Although Yu Tinhen is only level 43, his strength is very strong. With the Thunder attribute, he has a certain restraint on the water element. Therefore, after the confrontation, Xue Binja lost. Yu Tinhen won a victory. Next, the Spirit Hall team, Xiu. Finally it's my turn. Xiu stood up and stepped onto the stage with a confident smile. Yu Tinhen, you can barely be my opponent. With Hall Xiu, it's not that easy for you to beat me. Yu Tinhen directly turned on the dragon state. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex spirit is not the strongest beast spirit in the entire continent, but it is definitely one of the top beast spirits on the continent. It can be said to be one of the best. Their strength lies in the ability to transform into a dragon, transforming part of the body into a dragon, and possessing the power of the beast spirit dragon. Starting from level 30, every time a soul ring is added, there will be one more dragon transformed part. When the Soul Master reaches level 70, he can truly transform into a dragon and burst out with extremely terrifying power. At this moment, Yu Tinhen's hands turned into dragon-shaped arms, emitting domineering lightning. Xiu naturally did not dare to be careless and fought with him with all his strengths. The 2 sides fought very fiercely, and it was difficult to tell who was better at the beginning. But Xiu was a Soul King after all, and the gap was almost 10 levels, plus an extra Soul Ring and Soul Skill, and Xiu's strength was not comparable to that of ordinary Soul Kings. After a fierce battle, Yu Tinhen still lost and was defeated by Xiu. Next, the last person from Qian Renxue Academy. Just do your best, it doesn't matter if you lose. The Qian Renxue girls had no hope. Could not win in a row, and there were still a few remaining opponents. Yeah. Smiled slightly, her aura changed instantly, and she walked onto the stage. Xiu, we haven't sparred for a long time, right? Smiled innocently. But this innocent smile made Xiu's hair stand on end. He suddenly recalled that when he was in the Spirit Hall for a few years, he was beaten by this girl. Hehe, be gentle for a while, after all, we were classmates. Xiu said awkwardly. Well, don't worry. Rest. The next second, released the silver dragon spear, and her heroic appearance was extraordinary. Chu Ye gritted his teeth and rushed forward with the moon blade. After a few rounds of fighting, Chu Ye was soon stabbed to the ground by Qian Renxue College, and wins. Next, Qian Renxue from the Spirit Hall team. This was the first time Su Yuntao dared to call the young master's name directly. After saying that, he was panicked and uneasy. After all, a small character like him didn't dare to call the young master's name directly. The young master of the Spirit Hall is finally here. What do you think? How strong will she be? The whole audience had begun to get excited, and all their eyes were on the beautiful woman in a golden dress. She was like a goddess descending from heaven, a sacred, unreachable, and inviolable goddess. There are countless boys in various colleges who are fascinated by Qian Renxue's beauty and have a crush on her, but no boy dares to show it. Qian Renxue, the young master of the Spirit Hall, and Chu Ye are both known as the two most outstanding spirit masters in the world. It is rumored that her level has also reached the level of Spirit Emperor. How can she be weak? She must be very powerful. Too beautiful. Qian Renxue is really beautiful. If I could have a woman like this, my mouth would be so funny that it would crack. A male student from another college was looking at Qian Renxue's figure on the stage with a crazy look on his face. Hey. Shut up. Take back your lustful eyes. Are you going to die? The classmate next to him slowly reminded him. What do you mean? I can't look at you. If you want to look seriously. Don't use such a perverted look. I heard that many people looked at Qian Renxue like this in the recent finals. As a result, Chu Ye forcibly dug out the eyes of those people on the spot. Fuck, is this true? I don't know, I heard it, but if you don't want to become blind, then restrain yourself. I know, it's a good thing you reminded me. The male student was panicked when he heard this. He quickly looked at Chu Ye in the Spirit Hall and found that he was not paying attention to him at all. He was relieved in his heart. Sister Ye doesn't want to fight with you, but is now representing Qian Renxue College and can't give up easily. Was a little embarrassed. Qian Renxue smiled faintly. Ha, just fight me with all your strength, and let Chu Ye and I see how much you have grown over the years. Okay. Sisters Ye, be careful. Qian Renxue's expression gradually became serious. The six-winged angel martial spirit, the sacred light at this moment, illuminated the entire game. The sacred angel with 4 pairs of golden wings, shining incomparably. This is the six-winged angel martial spirit. Just the breath makes me feel submissive. Me too. The soul rings under Qian Renxue's feet also appeared in circles, yellow, purple, black, red. 100,000-year spirit ring. Fuck. The Spirit Hall's young master really also has 100,000-year spirit ring. Too strong. The Spirit Hall has terrifying existences like Chu Ye and Qian Renxue. How can other teams win the championship in this fucking Spirit Master competition? At this moment, the scene was boiling again, and it was almost the same as when Chu Ye just appeared on the stage. The whole audience was shocked, stunned, and looked at Qian Renxue in horror. The two most outstanding people in the world. The Holy Son of the Spirit Hall. The young master. They are the pride of this era. They are the existence that we can never surpass. Hey. They are the insurmountable peaks of our era. In the past 100 years on the continent, the last time a person dominated an era and was far superior to an era was during the period of Qian Dalu and Tang Chen. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novel, as there you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 193 Qian Renxue vs. In that era, Qian Dalu and Tang Chen were too talented, and their strength and talent far surpassed the young generation at the time. They were the leaders of that era. In the later period, they also became the two mountains in the hearts of all soul masters, representing the peaks that could not be surpassed or crossed. This era is ruled by Chu Ye and Qian Renxue. They are the two mountains of this era, which makes all the young generation far behind and cannot be compared. Quiet. Qian Renxue's voice echoed. Shut up. Shut up. Did you hear? Master of the Spirit Hall, let us shut up. Don't talk. Qian Renxue's voice was like a holy finger, making all the onlookers and the team members of each academy shut their mouths obediently. Come on. Both sides have entered the battle state. Two beautiful women, one holding a sword and the other holding a spear, have different auras, but both reveal the breath of a strong man. The next second, Qian Renxue rushed over at the same time. Ding! Bang! The sword and the gun collided, and the two officially faced off and launched a fierce battle. In terms of swordsmanship, Qian Renxue is also pure and innocent, and is second only to Chu Ye in the younger generation. She swung the sword, and the sword moves were linked together, without any dragging or unnecessary movements. Anma is also very good at fighting skills, and she also masters a set of her own gun skills. In hands, the gun is also like a part of her body, and she can control it freely. The two weapons kept colliding and fighting, and for a while, in terms of close combat, it was difficult to tell who was better. But in the dark, it was Qian Renxue who was suppressing. Too strong. The fighting ability of these two people is too terrifying. This kind of superb fighting awareness and ability, is it really the level that people of our generation can achieve? The scene was stunned. Very good, your close combat ability is far better than before. Qian Renxue said with some relief. Thank you, Sisters Wei, for the compliment. Bang! The two swung their weapons at the same time, confronting head-on. The energy from both sides pushed them back several meters. Use your solar skills. Okay. First solar skill, Silver Amplification. His breath, state, speed, and strength began to rise. Ha! Attacked again, stabbing straight at her with her spear, very fast. First solar skill, Angel Assault. Qian Renxue faced her head-on, and the two clashed again. Second solar skill, Silver Dragon Soul. Roar. A white dragon flew out and swung her spear. Qian Renxue flapped her wings and flew into the sky, with the white dragon chasing behind her. She flew quickly, turned sharply, left and right, pulling the white dragon behind her, and then floated on the ground. Qian Renxue had a faint smile on her face. Angel 6 Divine Sword Technique, Divine Light Sword Rain. While being chased by the Silver Dragon Soul, she launched her sword skills. Swish, swish, swish. Countless lightsabers fell. Not good. His face changed, and the extreme line flashed to avoid it. Qian Renxue flew to the ground quickly, and was about to hit the ground, but suddenly turned, and the white dragon behind him failed to react and fell directly to the ground. Qian Renxue easily resolved second solar skill, and immediately counterattacked. Second sword, Divine Light Breaking their slash. Third solar skill, Silver Dragon Shield. A silver light shield, with the model of the silver dragon engraved on it, was completely blocked by the silver shield when Qian Renxue's sword hit it. Bang! Boom boom boom. Defensive solar skill? Moreover, the defensor is very good, maybe even my fifth solar skill may not be able to break it. Qian Renxue was a little surprised. He didn't expect to have a defensive solar skill. In the previous game, used solar skills 1, 2, and 4, but 3 and 5 have not been used yet, so Qian Renxue didn't know that and had this trick. Sisters Wei, you are so strong. In that situation, you can counterattack me so perfectly. And breathed a sigh of relief. If she didn't have a defensive spirit skill, she would have fallen just now. Sisters Wei, let's use our strongest moves to see who is better, how about that? Has seen the situation clearly. There is a big gap between her and Qian Renxue in all aspects. She can't beat her at all and will lose sooner or later. Since she knows she will lose, doesn't want to continue fighting. This will only consume Qian Renxue's state and let Tang San, the insidious villain, succeed. She doesn't want to see her sisters Wei suffer from Tang San because of her poor state. But this game is a game after all. She represents Qian Renxue College after all. At the same time, this game is not just a game, but also a test for Sisters Wei to verify her current strength. Therefore, wants to use her strongest move to have a perfect ending. Okay, then come on. Qian Renxue flashed her angel wings and slowly floated in the sky, shining with sacred light. On the ground also had a silver light rising from her body. Her silver light was not inferior to Qian Renxue's golden light. The two lights, as the fifth soul ring appeared under their feet, almost covered the entire competition field. Fifth solar skill, Silver Dragon Roar. At this moment, an extremely terrifying silver dragon appeared behind. The dragon seemed to have merged with her body, including the silver dragon spear. The aura emitted by the silver dragon made the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex, the continent's top dragon-type martial spirit, feel the absolute suppression of its bloodliner. In front of it, the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex seemed to be extremely weak. Is this a terrifying dragon? Fuck. The whole audience was excited, their eyes were extremely fearful and terrified, because at this moment, the power emitted by him had already made them feel terrified. Even in front of all the students in the academy, this move was almost impossible for anyone to resist. Fifth soul skill, Sacred Sword. The giant sword of light condensed by the sacred fire appeared in the sky. Qian Renxue slowly raised her hands, which were also filled with extremely terrifying energy. Sisters Ye, let's decide the winner with this move. It was covered with a silver dragon, and came through the air with a silver dragon spear. Okay. Qian Renxue also swung down the condensed sacred sword. Bang. Boom 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 boom. The strong soul power fluctuation shook the whole venue, and even the outer range was impacted by the soul power. What a terrible power. Fuck. Will I still be alive if this happens? The onlookers even had a hard time standing still. It was hard to imagine how miserable they would be if they were to face each other head-on. His fifth soul skill is really terrible. Chapter 194 loses. Qian Renxue fights Tang San. If my soul power is not one level higher than hers, my sacred sword would be hard to match with the same fifth soul skill. Qian Renxue's face was solemn, and she increased the soul power she poured in. Finally, she overwhelmed his energy. The two sides fought for nearly 10 seconds, and finally the winner was decided, and they dispersed at the same time. He was chopped down by a sword and almost fell to the ground, barely standing still. Qian Renxue was still floating in the air, looking calm. As expected of Sisters Ye, I admit defeat, and smiled bigly. She thought Qian Renxue would at least use the sixth soul skill to resist, but she only used the fifth soul skill. Lost, Qian Renxue College was the first to be eliminated. Su Yuntao announced, and then shouted, "Next, please invite the last player of Tiando Royal College Team 1, Tang San, to the stage to compete." At this moment, Tang San had been stunned in place, slightly absent-minded. Seeing that Tang San was still not moving, Su Yuntao shouted again, "Team 1 of Tiando Royal Academy, Tang San." This voice finally brought Tang San back to his senses. He had a gloomy face. At this moment, he walked towards the stage with self-doubt in his heart. How can she be so strong? How can it be? Even his woman is so strong. The battle just now had made Tang San understand Qian Renxue's strength, which was definitely far better than his current strength. Although Tang San had heard that Qian Renxue was likely to be a Soul Emperor, she was only a Soul Emperor. Now with the Chaos Clone Hammer technique and powerful hidden weapon techniques, Tang San would not necessarily be weak against a Soul Emperor. However, Qian Renxue's Soul Emperor was actually stronger than he had imagined. This was not an ordinary Soul Emperor, and even gave Tang San the feeling that she was more terrifying than a Soul Saint. Can I defeat his woman and stand in front of him? Tang San's heart was extremely gloomy, and his steps seemed to become very solemn. Even if I really defeated Qian Renxue and stood in front of Chu Ye, at the time, what ability would I have to fight him? Tang San had no confidence. Let alone dealing with Chu Ye, he didn't have enough confidence to deal with Qian Renxue now. His heart gradually twisted, and his expression was a bit ferocious and cruel. In this case, then I will use all my trump cards against Chu Ye on his woman. Today, I can't touch you. Then I will touch your woman. I will let her die in front of you, so that you will be in pain. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Tang San laughed crazily in his heart. In this life, his personality has long been twisted, and he has become more and more insidious and vicious. At this point, everyone knows that the Tiando team is doomed, and Tang San also knows that he can't deal with or retaliate against Chu Ye. Fortunately, Tang San shifted his target to Qian Renxue first. Tiando Royal Academy, Tang San. Level 43 Control Spirit Master, Spirit Blue Silver Grass. Tang San's face was obviously sinister, and there was a hint of murderous intent. Here. Qian Renxue's face also showed coldness. In this game, she would not show any mercy. Tang San, you'd better behave yourself. Outside the stage, Chu Ye silently watched Tang San's sinister face. After playing in the finals until now, how could he not see that Tang San had other plans? Young master of the Spirit Hall, Qian Renxue, you must know the hatred between Chu Ye and me. In this game, I will not show any mercy. Tang San's face was cold. just relying on your little spirit master. Qian Renxue held the Qian sword in her hand and ignored the jumping clown in front of her. Then give it a try. First spirit skill, entanglement. Here. Qian Renxue snorted coldly, waved a few swords, and the terrifying sword energy instantly cut off the blue-silver grass. Before the release of the clear sky hammer spirit, Tang San did not dare to approach Qian Renxue and fight in close combat. He kept trying to use the blue-silver grass to attack from a distance, looking for the right time to attack. Third spirit skill, spiderweb binding. Unbearable. Qian Renxue used a few more sword energies and easily cut it off. The blue-silver grass, which had not yet awakened the blue-silver emperor, was as tough as tofu in front of a strong man like Qian Renxue. Tang San naturally knew that his blue-silver grass spirit was very weak in front of such a strong man, so he remained calm and kept trying from various angles to find Qian Renxue's flaws. Are you looking for my flaws? Qian Renxue saw Tang San's intention, so she took the initiative to reveal a flaw and lure him into the trap. My chance has come. Fourth solar skill, blue-silver cage. Tang San decisively released the fourth solar skill, thinking quickly in his heart. Although the blue-silver cage cannot trap Qian Renxue, it is likely to be broken by her, but this short period of time is enough for me to create an opportunity to attack. Qian Renxue. Blame it on you being his woman. The blue-silver grass instantly rose from the ground, and Tang San did not hesitate to spend a lot of soul power to use instant solar skills, and he also successfully trapped Qian Renxue in it. Now. Clear Sky Hammer. Tang San showed an excited expression on his face. His clear sky hammer martial spirit finally emerged, although this martial spirit had been exposed long ago. But this was the first time Tang San used it on the stage of the Soul Master competition, just to make everyone mutter about his explosion and power. Chaos Cape. Tang San's face was bulging with blue veins, and his face was ferocious. From the look of it, you can tell how hard he threw the hammer. As he swung the clear sky hammer, the 8-spider lance, the external soul bone on his back, also emerged at this moment, and Tang San's speed and strength were all increased comprehensively. Tang San knew his own limitations. Facing a strong person like Qian Renxue, he had to go all out from the beginning. As long as there was a chance, he would hold on to the end. Once Qian Renxue exerted her strength, then he would have almost no chance of winning. Take my hammer. Ha! Do you think you can trap me with this thing? Qian Renxue's mouth corners slightly raised, and the next second, a terrifying sword intent rose from her body. Those sharp sword intents were like countless blades, instantly cutting the blue-silver cage that trapped Qian Renxue into pieces. What? Impossible. My blue-silver cage can't actually trap her at all, how could it be? Tang San's face changed drastically. He thought his blue-silver cage could at least delay Qian Renxue for 2 or 3 seconds. But the moment he made a move, it was completely shattered. She actually hid her strength. Facing the powerful, she didn't even try her best. Tang San's idea was to trap Qian Renxue at the blue-silver prison, and then directly release the clear sky hammer martial spirit, launch the chaos cloud hammer technique, and launch a full-strength attack. He thought that even if his blue-silver prison could not trap Qian Renxue, it could at least hold out for 1 or 2 seconds, 2 or 3 seconds, right? After all, it was also his Tang San's fourth spirit skill. No matter how strong you are, if you want to break it, you have to use spirit skills, waste time, and break it with a flat attack. At least you have to chop it a few times before you can break it. Chapter 195 Qian Renxue beats Tang San. This is Tang San's analysis and judgment from the battle between Qian Renxue and Therefore, he can use this period of time to gain an advantage. As a result, his blue-silver cage didn't even last for a second, and Qian Renxue shredded his cage with just the sword intent. Advanced sword intent. This girl's understanding of the sword has reached this level. Douluo was extremely surprised. He had long known that Qian Renxue was also a sword genius. But once, Douluo thought that Qian Renxue's talent in the sword was inferior to Chu Ye, but now it seems that the two are almost evenly matched. The first solar skill, Angel Assault. Qian Renxue sneered and stabbed fiercely with a sword. Who is she? The young master of the spirit hall. Qian Renxue is already very smart, how could she not keep a watchful eye? When she was fighting with one was because she wasn't, so she didn't use her full strength, and 2 was to keep some means to deal with Tang San, and didn't completely expose her sword intent and power. Her angel sword intent had reached a high level a few months ago. Chu Ye's god and demon sword tends to be domineering, while her innate sword intent tends to be sharp. Under this sharp sword intent, how can the fragile blue-silver grass resist? Bang! Qian Renxue faced Tang San's first chaotic cloak hammer. This chaotic cloak hammer method is quite powerful. It is a continuous attack. The power of each hammer will be increased compared to the previous hammer. The attack power is superimposed. The more hammers are hit, the stronger the power. There are 81 hammers in total. When the number of chaotic cloak hammers reaches 81, it is almost the power of all the previous hammers that are superimposed and released in one breath. Although the power is huge, first of all, there must be a chance to hit all 81 hammers, and Tang San has only mastered 60 hammers at present. Tang San was repelled by Qian Renxue's blow, and he faced it again and launched his chaotic cloak hammer. Here, Tang San released all his soul power and strength on the chaotic cloak hammer, leaving no room for any more to resist Qian Renxue's whirlwind wing slash. He knew very well that he had no other ability to resist and fight Qian Renxue. The only way was to gather all his strength under his most powerful chaotic cloak hammer method to resist Qian Renxue's attack to the greatest extent, and consume the opponent's state while resisting. And Tang San's real trump card for turning the tables was not the chaotic cloak hammer method, but the hidden weapon method, Batwing Reincarnation. Ah! Tang San screamed loudly while resisting. His body was cut into countless scars by crazy, and while resisting, the 8-spider lance was also assisting in resisting the attack. But in the process of resisting, the 8-spider lance was also broken and interrupted bit by bit. This made Tang San extremely painful, and his screams were very miserable. The external soul bone is a part of the body, equivalent to an arm or limb. When the external soul bone is broken, it is like breaking an arm. It is painful to break an arm. You can imagine how miserable that pain is. But this is also part of Tang San's plan. He wants Qian Renxue to break his 8-spider lance, and then use the fragment of the 8-spider lance to perform Batwing Reincarnation. Because the Soul Master competition stipulates that no other weapons except martial souls can be used. Only the fragment of the 8-spider lance, and the external soul bone 8-spider lance, carry a kind of poison. The 8-spider lance comes from the human-faced demon spider. This spider soul beast carries a terrible poison. Among all soul beasts, the poison is one of the best. In the eyes of soul beasts, it is like a nightmare, the object of hatred of all soul beasts, and a terrifying evil killer. Its toxicity may not be the strongest, but the terrible thing is that it is a mixed poison, with multiple toxicities mixed together, and it is difficult to prescribe the right medicine, which means that the poison is very difficult to solve. If you are below the soul scent level, once you are poisoned by this poison, you will most likely not survive. The 22nd hammer. The 23rd hammer. The 25th hammer. After Tang San finally couldn't resist, and was slashed by Qian Renxue's whirlwind winds, and was blown away. His body smashed the stone wall directly. He screamed and spit out a mouthful of blood. At this moment, Tang San was already seriously injured, and there were countless scars all over his body. The 8-spider lance was also shattered. But in the process, Tang San quietly put the fragment of the 8-spider lance into the Space Soul Guide. My chaotic cloak hammer method was obviously used for the first time, but she seemed to have known it for a long time, and she interrupted my chaotic cloak hammer method. Otherwise, I could at least hit her 40 hammers, so that I could consume more of her soul power and physical strength. Tang San covered his chest with an ugly face. But soon, a sinister smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. But, it doesn't matter, now everything is ready, as long as you use it, no one can avoid the Batwing Reincarnation. While Tang San was still smiling sinisterly, Qian Renxue's cold figure had already arrived in front of him. So fast. Tang San's smile disappeared instantly, and he wanted to avoid it, but Qian Renxue slapped him hard in the face. Pa! With a loud noise, Tang San was slapped in the face by Qian Renxue and flew to the ground. Ah! This slap directly knocked Tang San's mouth crooked. He wanted to stand up, but Qian Renxue had already slapped him hard on the other side of his face. Pa! Ah! Tang San was slapped again and flew away. Put away your sinister face, I don't want to see it again, do you understand? Qian Renxue looked indifferent. Then, she slapped Tang San's face crazily. Pa 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 pa. Wei, Chapter 196. Crazy Tang San, Batwing Reincarnation. Damn it, this woman treats me like an animal. Don't hit someone in the face. Hitting the face hurts self-esteem. This is a complete insult and shame for Tang San. You woman. Tang San was extremely resentful. But he could only be beaten by Qian Renxue. Qian Renxue punched Tang San in the face and hit him in the abdomen. Get out! Bang! The last kick was kicked directly at Tang San's party central committee. Tang San covered his crotch and screamed miserably. His body was kicked away, and his arms were straight on the ground, kneeling in front of Qian Renxue. Finally, his body fell to the ground. He lay on the ground motionless, face to the ground. The young master of the spirit hall is too strong, this Tang San is no match at all. Tang San fell, the spirit hall will directly enter the finals. Everyone thought that Tang San had lost his ability to fight, but in fact, this was just Tang San's disguise. He was holding up the last bit of strength and secretly preparing the fragment of the 8 spider lance. Usually when one is unable to move, Su Yuntao will quickly announce the end of the match, and the opponent will usually stop attacking and wait for the announcement. After all, the match is a one-point game. Tang San took advantage of the game's restrictions and used these few seconds of gap, just when Su Yuntao was about to announce Tang San's defeat. Batwing Reincarnation. Tang San used up his last bit of strength, and instantly fragments of the 8 spider lance appeared in his hands and he threw them out. After using them, Tang San fell to the ground completely powerless. That's fragment of the 8 spider lance. Damn, this Tang San is so insidious. Pretending to be exhausted, he took advantage of the few seconds of the announcement to suddenly attack. The crowd of onlookers looked at him with contempt. You are such a sinister villain. Qian Renxue frowned, looking at the fragment of the 8 spider lance flying rapidly, her eyes a little serious. She observed various angles, even passing, the ground, the stone wall, the collision, the rebound, the change of the flight trajectory, and quickly thought about how to deal with it. Batwing Reincarnation. Chu Ye remained calm. He naturally knew that the 8 spider lance was highly toxic, and it was also an extremely complex mixed poison. With Chu Ye's current ability to practice poison, he was not sure that he could detoxify this poison. But although Chu Ye could not detoxify the poison, he had absorbed the 8 anise mysterious ice grass and the body of the fiery apricot, which was immune to all poisons. His blood could detoxify all poisons. Even if it was the mixed poison of the 8 spider lance, even if Qian Renxue was injured by the fragment of the 8 spider lance, Qian Renxue would not be in any danger of life. At the same time, Chu Ye believed that Qian Renxue could avoid it. However, Chu Ye had already stood up and came to the platform at the edge of the stage, because he knew that Tang San was such a sinister thing, and if he was not careful, he might hide even more sinister means. In order to avoid accidents, at this distance, he could take action to stop it at the first time. Insidious? I just want to win the game. Do you think I'm weak? But do you know what my real strength is? Hectares, 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 hectares. Tang San had a ferocious face, and his heart was twisted. Qian Renxue. You're dead. Swish, swish, swish. Qian Renxue completely avoided the fragments coming from the front and blocked a few with her sword. But the attack of the Batwing Samsara in the dark did not stop. It was not the open attack that was difficult to avoid, but the Samsara after avoiding it. At this moment, Qian Renxue had already noticed that the 8 spider lance fragments that she had dodged and bounced off were flying towards her again in a unique flight trajectory. Batwing Reincarnation, the Tang sect's hidden weapon technique ranks 10th. It can make hidden weapons fly along unique trajectories. Its attacks are unpredictable and its angles are tricky. It is absolutely impossible for ordinary people to avoid it. No one can escape Batwing Reincarnation. And in the fragment of the 8 spider lance, I have already prepared hidden needles. They are so tiny that even the naked eye can hardly see them. Once they touch the flesh, they will disappear in an instant. The needles also have the power to stimulate and aggravate the poison of the 8 spider lance. Once hit, it is certain death. Tang San had already prepared a foolproof plan. Among all the 8 spider lance fragments used in Batwing Reincarnation, there was another poisonous silver needle hidden. This silver needle was very, very small and could only be seen clearly when held in the hand. He hid the silver needle in one of the 8 spider lance fragments. When the fragment was about to hit Qian Renxue, the silver needle would instantly break away, fly alone, and pierce Qian Renxue's body. Such a tiny silver needle was difficult to see with the naked eye, not to mention that at the distance and flying speed, almost no one could detect it. He broke the rules, so what? Who would know? As long as this silver needle touched the body, it would melt instantly, without even evidence, and the poison would melt into the body. It would increase the mixed poison, toxicity, and absorb the poison of the 8 spider lance, hiding in the body. In the short term, it would not erupt, but after a period of time, it would urge the 8 spider lance poison to reappear. After all, the Soul Master competition will not end so soon, and it will take 3 more days. Tang San also considered that after Qian Renxue was poisoned by the 8 spider lance, the spirit hall would let him detoxify. After all, if he didn't, he would be doomed. But he left a hidden poison that would relapse. When they finished the competition, if the poison relapsed, Tang San would have returned to Tiando City under the leadership of Douluo Qian. At this moment, Tang San was determined to win and was full of confidence. Go to hell, Qian Renxue. Chu Ye, your woman is finished. Victory belongs to me, Tang San. Ha 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 ha. Tang San laughed wildly in his heart, with a crazy look on his face, extremely ferocious, and looking at Chu Ye outside the stage with pride. At this moment, Qian Renxue suddenly closed her eyes, and she no longer used her naked eyes to see the trajectory of all the fragments. She calmed her heart completely, and the noise and sound at the scene seemed to be completely isolated by Qian Renxue at this moment. Her heart was extremely calm, and her huge mental power seemed to cover the entire competition stage. She used her hearing to locate the sound, and used her deep mental power to feel everything around her. Although she couldn't see it, it seemed that the flight trajectory of all the fragments, like a perfect pattern, appeared in her mind. Every fragment, flight, amplitude, speed, angle, seemed to be vaguely grasped by Qian Renxue. Qian Renxue's mouth corners raised, and her posture finally moved. She closed her eyes, tilted her head slightly, and avoided a fragment, and turned around to avoid it again. Every move and every dodge of hers was so perfect, more like a graceful dance, perfectly dodging and full of beauty. Impossible. This is impossible. No one can avoid Batwing reincarnation. Seeing Qian Renxue's exquisite body movements, avoiding them perfectly one by one, Tang San became more and more nervous, but he still had strong confidence in Batwing reincarnation. Chapter 197 Tang San's conspiracy is exposed. Chu Ye makes Tang San cry. While dodging, a circle of purple spirit rings appeared under Qian Renxue's feet. While dodging to the limit, she actually released her 3rd spirit skill instantly. Angel Protection. Under the situation, she can still release spirit skills so exquisitely. Jian Luo was secretly surprised. It's useless. With only this level of defensor, it's impossible to resist Batwing Samsara. Tang San's face was ferocious. Indeed, Angel Protection could not completely resist it, but that energy affected the flight of the last few fragments, and this deviation allowed Qian Renxue to avoid them all perfectly in the end. It almost brushed past her body. What? Avoid did it? She actually avoided Batwing Samsara. How could it be like this? Tang San was dumbfounded, fell to the ground with a look of despair, and looked at Qian Renxue in disbelief. He had no other choice. Impossible, this is impossible. I can't accept it. Tang San couldn't accept this fact. He had been planning for this day for a long time. Even if he didn't have the chance to fight Chu Ye this time, he couldn't hurt Qian Renxue. He even suspected that if it was Chu Ye, he could avoid his Batwing reincarnation. Not good. Silver Needle Tang San's mood suddenly became more gloomy. If the Batwing reincarnation didn't succeed, then the silver needle he prepared might be discovered. At this moment, the tiny silver needle Tang San prepared fell to the ground along with the fragment of the 8 spider lance. Ding! Ding! The silver needle fell to the stone ground, making a very tiny sound. If you don't listen carefully, you won't hear it at all, plus there are so many people and it's noisy. But Chu Ye noticed it, and his face changed slightly. As early as when Tang San used the Batwing reincarnation, in order to avoid accidents, Chu Ye had already secretly released his mental power. His mental power was already equivalent to that of a 95 level titled Douluo. When the silver needle fell to the ground, he was the first to notice it. Originally with the second Prince Douluo Qian of the Heaven Do Empire here, the Spirit Hall would not touch you for the time being, but you are looking for death. Tang San. Chu Ye's heart was cold, and the next second, he flew to Qian Renxue's side in one fell swoop. Seeing Chu Ye flying down, Tang San panicked, his face was a little terrified, and sweat was pouring down. Has it been discovered? He knew very well what it meant if the silver needle was discovered. At the smallest, he or the Heaven Do would be disqualified from the competition, and at the largest, he might die here. Chu Ye, is your hand okay? Did it hurt? Chu Ye asked with concern. Qian Renxue couldn't help but smile. It's okay, I just hit his mouth by accident when I slapped him in the face just now. It's a bit disgusting, I want to go wash it. Tang-san wanted to vomit blood, and roared in his heart, damn, look at you, are you talking like a human being? However, seeing that Chu Ye came down to care about Qian Renxue, Tang-san was relieved immediately. Now he just needed to find a chance to get rid of the silver needle. Tang-san tried hard to stand up and destroy the evidence. At this time, Su Yuntao also announced, the Spirit Hall Qian Renxue won, the top 3 competition is over, the Spirit Hall team won this game and will directly advance to the finals. Qiando Team 1 and Qian Renxue College will compete for the team qualification for the finals in 2 days. Now, Qiando student Tang-san, you can go down. Sha-san. Oscar, who did not play, rushed down the stage and helped Tang-san up, and helped Tang-san down the stage. The two walked towards the place where the silver needle fell. It's right in front of us, as long as we destroy the silver needle, it will be fine. Tang-san, supported by Oscar, walked towards the silver needle, just when he was about to reach it. Chu Ye's cold voice suddenly sounded, wait. Tang-san's face changed drastically, and his heart was tense to the extreme. He reached out to grab the silver needle on the ground and forcibly destroyed the evidence. But Chu Ye flashed in front of Tang-san in an instant and grabbed Tang-san's wrist on the spot. Ah! Tang-san suddenly screamed, and one could even hear the sound of his wrists and bones breaking. He knelt on the ground and howled in pain. Let me go, what are you doing? Hey! Chu Ye, I know you and Tang-san have a personal grudge, but this is a competition, and players can't fight privately. What are you doing? Oscar also shouted anxiously. Chu Ye, the holy son of the Spirit Hall. Tang-san is a student of my Qiando Imperial Academy and my Douluo Qian's brother. You are not taking our Qiando Empire seriously by behaving like this. Douluo Qian also stood up at this time. Several soul masters followed behind him. I think you don't take the Spirit Hall seriously, right? Chu Ye sneered, holding Tang-san with one hand and mobilizing soul power with the other hand. Soon, the tiny silver needles on the ground slowly floated up with the mobilization of soul power. Finally, they floated above Chu Ye's palm. Look, what is this? At this moment, everyone's eyes were focused on Chu Ye's palm. Bai Dong, Douluo, and Ghost Douluo all changed their expressions. Tang-san, Douluo Qian, and others all looked depressed. Douluo Qian was even more helpless. This Tang-san was so careless and left evidence. This is not easy to deal with. Chu Ye then covered the almost invisible silver needle with a layer of black energy, and soon, the silver needle was completely revealed. Everyone saw that it was a very small silver needle. Artifact. This Tang-san actually used an artifact other than a martial spirit on the Soul Master competition stage. This breaks the rules. The onlookers finally saw it clearly. It's over. Tang-san looked desperate. Now he could only hope that Douluo Qian could save him. Tang-san. You are so brave. Douluo was furious and wanted to kill someone, but Chu Ye didn't say anything, so he didn't act rashly. Now, do you understand what I am doing? This sinister villain, on the competition stage, privately used tools other than the spirit, and tried to murder the young master of the Spirit Hall. You are talking nonsense, I didn't try to murder her. Tang-san argued. Still arguing. Chu Ye's face was fierce, and he directly crushed Tang-san's wrist. Wei, Chapter 198 Tang-san. Dad, save me. Tang now appears again if anyone doesn't believe it. Just take a drop of venom and go back to ask the poison master you know. Chu Ye said very forcefully. What? This Tang-san is so evil. He actually wants to murder the young master of the Spirit Hall. The onlookers were shocked, and the disciples of the Spirit Hall were already filled with anger. Tang-san's face was desperate. How could this guy know so clearly? Tang-san didn't know that Bai Dong also knew the method of poison training very well. Chu Ye had followed and studied for many years, so he naturally knew a lot, but the mixed poison of the human-faced demon spider was indeed difficult to solve. What else do you want to quibble about? Chu Ye looked at Tang-san indifferently. Tang-san had no way to defend himself, as the evidence was solid. HMPH. Chu Ye snorted coldly, his voice resounding throughout the entire scene, overbearing and full of majesty. Tang-san of Qiando Royal Academy, First crime, privately carrying objects other than martial spirits, has violated the rules of the competition, and will be directly disqualified according to the regulations. Second crime, Tang San attempted to murder the young master of Awihun Hall, which has violated the unforgivable crime of a hall. This thief. Today, he is sentenced to death. Wait. Tang San is indeed wrong, but he did not succeed, so he is not guilty of death. Douluo Qian hurriedly walked in front of Chu Ye and confronted him. What nonsense are you talking about? If you don't succeed, can you be like nothing happened? Seeing Chu Ye's attitude and tone, he did not take him, the future emperor of the Tiando Empire, seriously at all. Douluo Qian was a little angry and planned to use his power to suppress him. Chu Ye. I am the second prince of the Tiando Empire, Douluo Qian, the future crown prince and emperor of the empire. Today, if I... Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Before Douluo Qian could finish his words, Chu Ye slapped him hard in the face. Bang. Douluo Qian screamed and was thrown to the ground by a slab. Fuck. So fierce is Chu Ye crazy. The second prince Douluo Qian has basically secured the position of the crown prince, and he will definitely be the emperor of the Tiando Empire in the future. This Chu Ye actually slapped the future emperor in the face. Oh my god, that's too awesome. The scene shocked everyone, even Bai Dong was stunned. But if you think about it carefully, it doesn't matter. As long as you don't kill him first, it doesn't matter if you slap him. Anyway, the Spirit Hall will take action soon after the Soul Master competition. Even if there is an impact, it won't be a big one. Your Highness the Second Prince. You actually hit me. Douluo Qian was also stunned. He really didn't expect that Chu Ye would dare to hit him. What if I beat you? If we didn't have the Spirit Hall to check and balance you, your Heaven Do Empire would have been destroyed by the Douluo Empire. Chu Ye didn't give Douluo Qian any face, and said coldly, "Get out. You have nothing to do here." How unreasonable. How unreasonable. Douluo Qian was shaking with anger, but since Chu Ye was not afraid of authority, he couldn't guarantee Tang San. Chu Ye didn't delay any longer, and planned to kill Tang San with one blow. I can't die yet. I can't die yet. Dad. Save me, Dad. Tang San screamed in fear. At this moment, the sky suddenly changed into dark clouds, lightning and thunder, and black fog formed a vortex, surrounding the sky. An extremely domineering hammer with flashing red light, at the moment when Chu Ye was about to take action, fell rapidly from the huge sky. Chu Ye's face changed, and he could only drag Tang San to dodge at a very fast speed. Uncle Gu, save him. But at this moment, a strange spatial force rushed towards Chu Ye, and Douluo saved Tang San at his limit. Tang San lost his grip, and Chu Ye could only dodge backwards to avoid the hammer that was coming down. Bang. Boom boom boom. The moment the hammer hit the ground, a pit was smashed out of one of the stages, and grey smoke rose from the ground. When the grey smoke dissipated, a clear sky hammer suddenly appeared in everyone's eyes. Girong. Chu Ye stared at Douluo, not paying attention to the hammer that was coming down, because he knew what it was. And this Girong was known as the most mysterious among the titled Douluo, with strange and difficult abilities. His martial spirit, Bone Dragon, was a defensive spirit master, and at the same time possessed the magical ability to travel through space and space abilities. If it weren't for this Bone Douluo, Tang San would have been beheaded at this moment. Sword Douluo had also protected Douluo Qian, in front of Tang San and the others. Nine Fengzi was Douluo Qian's master, and he had even defected to the Heaven Do Empire. At this moment, it was time to show his loyalty, but the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect did not dare to do too much. Chu Ye sighed softly and shook his head, but it was not because he failed to kill Tang San, but because of the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect. With this move, the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect could not escape the disaster of destruction. At this moment, everyone's eyes were already focused on the hammer on the ground, which was the Clear Sky Hammer. This is the Clear Sky Hammer. Bai Dong's face changed and looked up at the sky. Tang Ao. Tang San's face also showed an excited expression. Dad. Your Majesty the Clear Sky Hammer. It's Your Majesty the Clear Sky Hammer. Douluo Qian, the Seven Treasures Glazed Tile sect and others, Tiando Tang San, Daimu Bai and others were also excited, and their faces were all happy. The sky was thundering, dark clouds were dense, and there was a rumbling sound. Tang Ao's figure appeared there, and the 9 rings under his feet shone in the sky. Spirit Hall. How dare you hurt my son? Get out of here. Tang Ao's domineering voice seemed to echo throughout the world. Arrogant. Bai Dong stared upwards. Tang Ao. How can you be so presumptuous in front of the Pope's palace? Pope's palace. What a Pope's palace? Red thunder flashed down, instantly grabbing the clear sky hammer on the ground, and then returned to Tang Ao's hand. The next second, he took action directly. Look carefully. This is the real clear sky hammer. Ha! Tang Ao's face was full of anger, fierce, domineering, and extremely rampant. He raised the clear sky hammer, and the huge real body phantom behind him was like a 100-meter giant holding a hammer. He went all out with one hammer and smashed it down with a very domineering force. 7th soul skill, martial soul true body. Ghost Douluo and Chrysanthemum Douluo activated their martial soul true bodies at the same time, accompanied by Bai Dong, and the three of them rushed to the sky at the same time to resist Tang Ao's attack. Chu Ye stared at the sky intently. This scene seemed familiar and was expected. Tang Ao might come out to protect his child. He also knew very well that Tang Ao's attack would break the angel stone statue that symbolized the six-winged angel family and the highest and most sacred spirit of the spirit hall. Bai Dong might not care about the breaking of the angel stone statue, but Qian Renxue must care. Moreover, this is the Pope's palace. How can you, Tang Ao, be so arrogant here? Swear. Chu Ye's body instantly rose with a terrifying aura and murderous intent. At this moment, he released his own state to the extreme. With just one look, Qian Renxue understood Chu Ye's intention. She was willing to accompany him and do whatever he wanted. Chapter 199. In front of the Pope's palace, Tang Ao was hacked in anger. Tang Ao was miserable. I understand, Chu Ye. The two looked at each other and released their wings at the same time. The wings of the dragon god were released from Chu Ye's back, and the wings of the angel were released from Qian Renxue's back. The two flapped their wings with a terrible breath, followed closely behind by Bai Dong, Douluo, and Ghost Douluo, and rushed into the sky in an instant. What are they going to do? Are they looking for death? That's the power of His Majesty Yoshin's full-strength attack. Shi Yu, Yan, Elena and others were also worried, shouting, Your Highness the Holy Sun! Your Highness the Young Master! Ha ha ha! Looking for death! Looking for death! You are looking for death! Can you two soul emperors resist my father's attack? Seeking death! Tang San laughed wildly on his face, extremely ferocious and crazy. He couldn't wait to see Qian Renxue and Chu Ye being hammered to death by Tang Ao. Chu Ye, share power. Qian Renxue, share power. The two of them opened the power sharing of the life and death contract at the same time, and their soul power soared to the soul sent realm. Swear. Chu Ye. Today, let's teach Tang Ao a lesson. Fuck him. Chu Ye's face had already shown a fierceness that he had never seen before. The two figures flew rapidly into the sky and moved closer together. Then, they held hands and interlocked their fingers. At this moment, the martial souls of the two instantly merged together, and all their soul rings emerged, collided, and merged. Martial soul fusion technique. Gods and demons. Angels. Bang. Boom 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 boom. An extremely terrifying energy smashed in the sky, and Chu Ye and Qian Renxue's bodies merged together again. One was a huge angel that looked like a god and a demon, appearing in the sky, emitting the power of extreme light and darkness. The god and demon angel reappeared. Long ago, the power of the god and demon angel was equivalent to that of a titled low-level strongman, and now, with the increase in power sharing, the two are equivalent to the soul-sent realm, the fused god and demon angel. The martial soul fusion technique will become stronger as the soul master's level and strength increase, so the god and demon angel at this moment is already very terrifying. Under the power of the god and demon angel, Tang Ao's fierce, overbearing, and arrogant expression still showed a bit of fear. The next second, his power was suppressed and broken on the spot. The god and demon angel quickly burned all of its soul power to make its power reach its peak in a short time. They instantly passed through the power layer, like a light and shadow, so fast that in that moment, almost everyone could hardly react. Instant. Puff. Ah! In the huge sky, Tang Ao screamed miserably, and blood spurted out of his arm. At that moment, the god and demon angel actually cut off Tang Ao's right arm. Get out! Bang! The moment Tang Ao's arm was cut off, the god and demon angel hit again. Tang Ao's body was instantly knocked down from the sky. How is it possible? How is it possible? They actually cut it off, Daddy. The madness on Tang San's face was only left with confusion. Damn it! Explode the ring. Tang Ao's reaction was also very fast. At that moment, he used the power of the exploded ring. Bai Bai Dong saw this and attacked the angel of gods and demons at the same time, and they blasted towards Tang Ao together. The two side strengths confronted each other again, and Tang Ao temporarily interrupted the attacks of Bai Bai Dong and the angel of gods and demons. Tang Ao wanted to get away in time. But at the same time when he exploded the ring to resist, Qian Renxue also launched the martial soul fusion technique in time. Bipolar static field. Tang Ao, die. The angel of gods and demons had blood flowing from that corner of his mouth, but he still flew towards Tang Ao like crazy. Here, hush. Bang. Boom boom boom. Finally, Tang Ao's body hit the ground hard. Dad, Dad. Tang San screamed in pain. Bai Bai Dong, the god and demon angel, Douluo, and ghost Douluo also fell rapidly from the sky, intending to kill Tang Ao in one blow. Tang Ao was extremely miserable. In an instant, he released all his strength and almost blew up all his soul rings. He hit the ring again with the power to resist. Bang. Boom boom boom. The terrifying power bombarded, and the whole scene was shaken. Tang Ao blocked the attack for a while, and at that moment, he rushed towards Tang San. Shao San, go. Tang Ao rolled up Tang San in time, severely injured and fled, disappearing without a trace. How awesome Tang Ao was when he appeared, how miserable he was when he left at this moment. At this moment, everyone stopped chasing, and withdrew their strength, and the god and demon angel also automatically released the state. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue's faces turned slightly pale. The attack just now was to quickly burn the soul power and make the power reach the peak in an extreme time. Therefore, at this moment, the soul power of the two was almost exhausted. Even standing was a little weak. But despite their pale faces, at this moment, they also made everyone feel extremely fearful and dreadful. Two soul emperors can actually exert such a terrifying power. How can this not make people dread? If they reach the Soul Saint, Soul Douluo, or even titled Douluo in the future, then how terrifying will this god and demon angel be? Too terrible. This scene made everyone clearly realize that the end of being arrogant in the Pope's palace was like a miserable dot just now, even as strong as Tang Ao. Qian Renxue panted slightly and said, Chu Ye, in the end, he let the Tang family father and son run away. Chapter 200 The miserable Tang family father and son, the final. It doesn't matter. This father and son are unlikely to become great. Sooner or later, they will die in our hands. The killing intent in Chu Ye's eyes gradually dimmed. Today, Tang Ao was severely injured and one of his arms and legs was cut off. In the next few years, he will not be able to make any big waves. The plan of the Spirit Hall is about to start, and Tang San does not have enough time to develop. Even Tang San's development is far less than that of Chu Ye and Qian Renxue now. In addition, the Blacksmith Association has joined the Spirit Hall early and started planning in advance. The four major families with single attribute will soon be eliminated, and the Tiando Empire will no longer have the help of the Tang sect. As long as the two major plans of the Spirit Hall are launched, the general trend will be irreversible. In this life, the Spirit Hall will unify the continent and be unstoppable. Today's competition ends here. Everyone, you can leave. Bai Bai Dong's voice sounded, and her eyes looked around, and finally fell on Nine Fengzi, Qian Renxue, and Bone Douluo, and her eyes were a little cold. Bai Bai Dong remembered what Bone Douluo did just now. The Seven Treasures Glazed sect was doomed to be destroyed. In fact, because of Chu Ye and Qian Renxue, although the destruction of the Seven Treasures Glazed sect was in the plan, Bai Bai Dong did not decide to destroy it. As long as the Seven Treasures Glazed sect promised to retire and not participate in future wars, they could be spared. After all, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue had both received guidance from Sword Douluo. But now, Bai Bai Dong has made up her mind. Soon, the crowd gradually left, and only Chu Ye, Qian Renxue, Bai Bai Dong and others were left at the scene. Bai Bai Dong slowly walked up to Tang Ao, who had an arm and a leg cut off and fell to the ground, and said, there are 6 soul bones on Tang Ao's body, all of which are extremely high quality 10,000-year soul bones. 2 of them are treasures passed down from the Ocean sect for many years. And the right arm and left leg of Tang Ao that you cut off are the soul bones passed down from the Ocean sect. Bai Bai Dong said, and instantly smashed Tang Ao's fallen arm and leg with a palm, and 2 10,000-year soul bones appeared in front of everyone. These 2 soul bones were cut off from Tang Ao by you, so the soul bones will also be handed over to you to distribute. Chu Ye and Qian Renxue looked at each other, and with just one glance, They had a tacit idea. He walked up to Bai Dong and said, "Teacher, let's take one, and store the other in the Pope's Palace Soul Bone Vault. When we conquer the continent in the future and the Wuhan Empire is unified, we can use it as a reward for meritorious officials." Chu Ye's remaining few pieces only need to be 100,000 years old, and Qian Renxue is not short of them. In addition, there is no need to absorb the Phoenix Soul Bone for the time being. It has been 100,000 years, and it will take too much to reach 1,000,000 years. For now, it is better to let the Soul Bone be stored in the Pope's Palace as a reward in the future, so that the people in the Wuhan Palace will work harder and speed up the pace of the Wuhan Palace's expansion into the continent. Moreover, after the large-scale war is over, the Wuhan Palace will unify the continent and will definitely have an extremely large number of soul bones, even equivalent to all the soul bones in the entire continent. At the time, the Phoenix Soul Bone can be absorbed crazily. Okay. Bai Dong nodded and took back a piece. Chu Ye put the other piece into the Space Soul Guide. Now he has a 100,000-year-old Azure Bull Python Bone, a 10,000-year-old Medusa Soul Bone, and Tang Ao's 10,000-year-old Soul Bone. If absorbed, the Phoenix can reach 300,000 years. Originally, these two soul bones should have been forcibly removed by Tang Ao himself and given to Tang San to use when he returned to the Ocean sect. Now that they have been cut off by me and are in my hands, Tang San's desire to gain the recognition of the Ocean sect elders is probably hopeless. Chu Ye thought in his heart. Okay, you must have been injured in the fight against Tang Ao just now. Go back and have a good rest. Well, then teacher, we will go back first. Chu Ye nodded, took Qian Renxue away from the competition site, and went home to recuperate and recover. On the other side, Tang Ao was covered in blood and phlegmatically with Tang San in a mess. He did not dare to stop for a moment until he escaped far beyond the scope of Wuhan City. Then he stopped in the forest to rest. Tang San cried, "Dad! Your arms and legs." Tang Ao also looked miserable, trying to endure the pain in his body and said, "I'm fine, Sha San." A strong man at his level can already use soul power to condense the arms and legs of the soul body, which can barely be used as limbs, but Tang Ao looked disappointed and complained, "Sha San, you are too anxious. Today, you shouldn't have used the silver needle method. If the game was normal, with Tiando's second Prince Douluo Qian, he could still save you, but you." "Dad, I'm sorry." Tang San's eyes flowed with tears of regret and unwillingness. If Tang San hadn't broken the rules and given the Spirit Hall a reason to take action, why would he, Tang Ao, come out and fight? Now he was beaten so badly, and one arm and one leg were chopped off. The most important thing is that the arms and legs are the inherited soul bones of the Ocean sect. This is to ask Tang San to take it back to the Ocean sect, so that Tang San can be recognized by the elders of the sect and return to the sect. Now, well, what face does he have to let Tang San go back? Sha San, a gentleman's revenge is never too late. From now on, you must never provoke them again. In the next few years, I will take you to practice, take you to various dangerous places to experience, so that you can quickly become a strong man. Before you reach the titled Douluo realm, you must never fight him again. We are not always so lucky to escape alive, understand? Dad. That Chu Ye is so terrifying, even if you take me to practice, I can't surpass him. Tang San looked discouraged and had no confidence. Have you forgotten what I said to you that year? Tang Ao said angrily. I know, Dad. Tang San lowered his head. Let's go. We have to run a little further. The Tang family father and son rested for a while, and then moved again. They fled all the way to a small village that was safe enough, and temporarily settled down to recover from their injuries. After Tang Ao was hacked away, everything seemed to return to calm, and the finals of the Soul Master competition continued. 2 days later, Qian Renxue College and Tiando Royal College fought for a place in the finals. Without Tang San, Tiando Royal College was easily defeated by Qian Renxue College, and Qian Renxue entered the finals. 3 days later, the finals will begin to compete for the championship. After a few days of adjustment, Chu Ye and Qian Renxue's condition has also returned to the peak. They led the Wuhan Hall team and returned to the competition site, the scene of the finals. The Advanced Elite Soul Master competition, the finals are about to begin. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.